So we're gonna be live there, and then TikTok Studio live. We're gonna pull up the school community, and we're going to system settings. Let's change the display, make it smaller, arrange, fix this stupid problem. Done. Vibe coding 101. And let's go to our YouTube channel, make sure everybody's live over there. No, YouTube Studio. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. Live. Okay. Okay, we got TikTok over here. Make this small enough so people can see it. You know, should we rotate this sideways? No, I can't do that. Can I rotate this? No. Crop, flip, flag management, 24 frames per second, limit enhance, effects, atmosphere, filters, background, none, crop, crop, and then let's do this. There. Okay. Build in public, about me, build in public, no fluffs, just shipping. Vibe code tree. Apps. Join the community. Okay. Go live. Okay, so I think we're live there. We're live here. We got people in the making. Oh, I gotta set out my notification. Hey guys, bear with me for 1 second. I'm running behind today, so just trying to get things set up properly here. I've been a little bit behind on the notification and the lives, and I do want to post and just message people in the community. Just let me know I'm back, baby. Thanks for the thumbs up on YouTube. Whoever you are, say hi in the chat so at least I know who you are. And we're gonna be starting pretty soon. I just want to I just want to post in the chat, in the live thing. I'm running behind today in schedule because I was working on a bunch of stuff today. Vibe coding. Someday I'm going to get better at this. Say hi in the chat, man. How are you doing? Tree watching. Small audience, but so let me message people and just say, hey guys, I'm live. Hey guys, I'm live right now. Just posting this in the community. Come join me. Hey guys, I'm live. Come join me. Tell me what you're working on. Send to, oh, you can only, wait, what? Oh. Live wiki, I can only do one. Admins can only send a post via email once every 72 hours. Try again in 3 hours. Are you kidding me? Okay, whatever. Okay, so we are live. Hey, how are you doing? All right, I think I got everything set up now. Sorry about the delay, guys. Sorry about the delay. So I got a couple of things I want to actually do today. I want to talk about a few things I've been working on lately. Talking about my apps again. So I've been building out tons of features on LeadScore. I got to put this privacy mode on so that I don't get capped by YouTube. And I want to talk about Affordly, my app. This app here that I'm building out. And then I want to talk about SnapSuite and some of the changes that I'm making on this app as well, because they all kind of tie into each other. Oops. I'm going to sign out to this account, log in with a different account. Air cool. Bam, there we go. So a couple of things I want to talk about. Hey, good afternoon. I'm new to the Vibe coding and I'm interested in building something that I have in mind. Hey, welcome, man. Welcome. What are you trying to build? What are you thinking about building? Welcome. Thanks for asking the question. What are you thinking about building, Mr. Acol 2116? Do you have any single thing in mind? Curious, how can I join the community? You can join the community by going to Dwayne.me. I'll send you the link right now, sir. So first, let me just talk about the community because you guys are new here and you don't know who I am and etc. Thanks for the hearts. So first of all, just a little background about me. I've been around for about 20 years now as a software developer and an entrepreneur. I've had multiple startups. This is my third startups. I've started and stopped a whole bunch of stuff and I failed at a whole bunch of things. Hey, Mr. Paul, how are you doing, man? Welcome. Nice to see you again. Mr. Veteran guy. Yeah, so I failed at a whole bunch of different things. And over those years, I've learned a lot about building startups. And so I've been seeing a bunch of people doing vibe coding on the internet. And one of the things that I recognize is that people are building these vibe coding apps. And the truth is they don't really know what they're doing. And neither do I, just to be clear. However, having 20 years of experience building software have taught me a lot of things. And the one thing that I failed at multiple times over is how to market your app. So it's easy to build the app. It's just very hard to market it. And as a result of that, I've been thinking about ways that I could give back and help the community to build better apps altogether. So let's just talk about that community at a high level because there's a bunch of new people here and I want to make sure that everybody kind of understand what we're doing. So in the community, when you join the community, free by the way, it's a free community. I want to be clear with that. It's a free community that you can join. You click on the classroom, and I have at a high level, sort of like, what is my goal? What is my mission? Right? My goal is to get you from zero to hero in 90 days. Okay. And what do I mean by zero? By zero is you know nothing. In 90 days, you will know how to not only build an application, you'll have the foundations and how to build something that's scalable, and you'll have all of the pieces in place that you could launch your application into the real world. That is my mission, that is my goal, and that's why I come on this live every single Friday. I'm planning to do more, but for now we're at every single Friday, 1 p.m. to roughly 4 p.m., depending on how many people are engaged. So that's number one. Secondly, is after you kind of get an understanding of who I am, if you're a non-technical person, so I got a lot of non-technical people that are kind of new to vibe coding, they've never programmed before or whatever, you got to watch my Foundations 101 course. Okay, what is that course about? It's literally just giving you at a very high level what is that how to build an app, how to think about an app, how to put the pieces in place so you can have a scalable architecture, why you would need caching, when you need caching, when you need background jobs, like just all of those fundamental things that you kind of need to understand a little bit. That's what this course is about. It's not a long course. It's like 6 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. So, you can watch this while you're like eating lunch, during your lunch break or something like that, right? Like it's very, very straightforward that way. And then once you get through that course, then watch my Foundations 101 for Cloudflare. So I'm a big diehard Cloudflare fan. In fact, if you go to my website and my YouTube channel, you'll see a ton of stuff about Cloudflare. I haven't been posting in a while, but nonetheless, the videos up there are pretty good. And they talk about Cloudflare. And this is my number one favorite video, which is why is Cloudflare insanely cheap? And I give you a comparison because a lot of people, you're new to this vibe coding, you've been hearing about Vercel and, AWS and Lambda and all this. I break it all down in this video to give you at a very high level when you should use certain apps. So the difference between Lovable versus Vercel versus Bolt versus Cloudflare versus AWS versus Google. Just give it to you at a high level so you can understand why I'm betting on Cloudflare and why every single thing that I build is on Cloudflare. So that's what that video is about. And that's what this course is about here. It just kind of goes through the details of the Cloudflare infrastructure. And it literally, I walk you through, I bought the domain name on this course and I literally show you how to get it set up. So you have no excuse after this. Like I literally walk you through, like buy this domain here, click this button, do this, point this DNS. Like I literally do the entire thing for you. So if you just follow it, at least you can get the basic setup with your application. So those are the core things that I have in place. And then from there, there's some other courses coming around marketing, etc., etc. So that's sort of like who I am and what the mission is from my application. TikTok keeps, for some reason, trying to ban me. I don't even know why. They keep having me every single time. I have to keep doing these approval process. So if I'm distracted, it'll be because of that. All right, let me get to some questions. So hey, good afternoon. Interested in vibe coding, right? So you're thinking about a meta? No, okay. What is this? Oh my goodness, I don't know how to pronounce it. An autophotonic graphics engine. All right. So Mr. Air Call 2116. What the hell is that? I have no idea what that is. But here's what I'll tell you all together. Does this thing that you're thinking about building, is it solving an actual problem? All right. I'm going to talk about that in a bit. So if you're building something, if you're building anything, it doesn't matter what you're building. If you're building something, the real question is it solving a problem? If it's not solving a problem, you're not going to make money. Unless you're trying to do this as a hobby, you're not going to make money. Okay, so you need to build something that's going to actually solve a problem. So my question to you is, because you sound like you're a very technical person with this noetic autophoetic graphics engine. I'm dyslexic, so I will butcher every single word. I'm just putting that out there just so you know. I got a dyslexia problem. It's just, just the way how my brain works. Doesn't mean that I don't know what I'm saying. It just means that I don't know how to read what I'm saying. So take that with a grain of salt. Anyway, point is that you got to be solving a problem, okay? If you're not solving the problem, you're not going to make any money. And the whole goal of this entire game, the reason why I'm building and putting my time out here for free and just basically talking about people and helping people, is so that I could teach you how to make money. Because personally, I struggled with this for a really, really long time. I'm still struggling with this because I'm not where I want to be, but I've gained a lot of experience, and that's what I'm trying to, give you guys all together. I appreciate the hearts and the thumbs up on the live and TikTok. Please doing that. Keep doing that. It helps me out quite a bit. But yeah, so why do you want to build something, and why do you want to solve a problem, and hopefully it'll make some money in the process? Like that's basically what the goal is. Um, Mr. You follows laughing at me. So yeah, so build something, solve a problem. That's goal number one. Okay. Now, number two is if you build it and you solve the problem, you got to sell it. Okay. You have to sell it. So you got to come up with frameworks in place to do it. That's the reason why I've been personally building out my own software system called LeadScore. This is actually my real company data here. If you notice, it's kind of it's all hidden because I have a built-in privacy mode in this, so I can actually show people live data because I didn't want to just show demo data all the time. So you see here, in total I got about 75,000 leads in this platform. Okay, and every single day this system sends out a bunch of emails to people trying to get them to book an appointment, jump on a call, connect with them, etc. I'm trying to basically try to figure out the best strategy to connecting with these people, and that might be through LinkedIn, through Instagram, through whatever it is. But the goal is you have to do this work. This is not something that you could just sort of say, "Oh, I built it, and everybody's going to come." Nobody's going to come. All right. Let me read the message here on YouTube. So, hello, Dwayne. I have a personal site deployed with Cloudflare. When building an app, how does workers connect with pages? Okay. Great question. This is a very confusing topic. I'll address it in 2 seconds. Pages is the old implementation. It used to be called Pages, and Workers was a separate thing. And then Cloudflare merged them together. So now they're one of the same. However, Pages still exists because there's some applications that still use Pages. But Cloudflare is trying to push you into using Workers. So today, there's no difference between Pages and Workers. The only difference is you have to have some slight little configuration details inside of Cloudflare in order to do that properly. So to answer your question, Mr. Benson Waggy, I think it is, go here, watch this Cloudflare 101. Number 3, this 10 minutes video here will answer the whole thing for you. What is Cloudflare Worker? Actually, this 12 minutes one will answer the exact question in granular details to answer. But the long and short of the answer is that uh, because think of a worker as a backend API that basically has deals with all of the data processing, and the pages deals with all the static HTML, so your React app or your HTML app or whatever it is. Cloudflare just merged them together, so the one thing does both, and that's why it got a little bit confusing for a lot of people because it was just a technical nightmare the way how they set it up. But hopefully that answers your question. Join the community. Let me just get this link properly so I can just keep dropping it in the chat. But join the community. HTTPS colon. I'm sorry. Text edit. HTTPS colon / dwain.me/skool. And watch that video, Cloudflare 101, and then it's going to go into the full details of how that works. Why is it I can't click in here? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's going to go into the full details of how that works, and then you'll be able to get the details. And then if you got any more questions, just message me in the chat, and I'll answer them promptly. So yeah, okay. With that, hang on a second here. Sorry, new to all this live streaming thing, so I get a little confused with all the thing. And Paul had give me some suggestions on what I need to do to fix my, the layout, and I still haven't done this yet. So I haven't forgotten you, Paul. I just been a little bit busy. So yeah, okay. Right. So hang on. Let me make sure I got all the questions. I'm not technical. I just an imagination. So you don't have to be technical. Just to be clear. In today's world, you actually don't have to be technical. You just have to be consistent, and you need to know what you're trying to accomplish and what problem you're solving. That's the only requirement. So if you don't have to be technical because I recognize that. I mean, okay, just to be clear, you have to have some kind of understanding of what's going on. This is why, like I said, I built this course here specifically for people like you guys, this Foundations 101, how the web actually works. It might not be the right title, but it gives you sort of the core understanding of sort of the main just like foundational knowledge on the thing. Paul says so much value in the community. Hey man, I really appreciate that. I genuinely do because because I've been struggling a little bit and like figuring out what to do with the community and how to build it out properly. So I appreciate you feeling like you got value. Any suggestions and any feedback on how to make it better or things that you want to know, feel free to message me on that, and I'd be more than happy to put any questions in the chat. But yeah, you don't have to be technical to do it, Mr. ACall 101. And then let me see what else I got here. Trying to keep up with the messages. Essentially, a semi-autonomous system that governs its own infrastructure. Semi-autonomous of what infrastructure? Like, is this? Give me more. Give me some more details. Give me a comparison, or give me a website, something that I can look at that make it a little more tangible for me. It like I understand what you're saying, but I don't know what it is, if that makes sense, right? So and this will be one of the things that I'll talk about this very quickly, because I'll give you guys a backstory actually, because you guys don't know me, so I'll give you a little backstory. Okay. I went through 3 different startup accelerators. What is a startup accelerator? It's a place where if you're building an idea, right, you can go to this place and you have like a whole bunch of other startups that are working with you. And normally, sometimes the institution would give you money to build your idea. So back in the day when I did it, we got like $30,000 to work on my idea, and it was like 4 weeks at a camp. Think of it like boot camp for startups. Okay, so I did this, and when I did this, one of the things that I learned in this process was if you can't articulate your idea very clearly to investors, they just dismiss you instantly. So you might understand what it is that you're trying to build, but if the investor doesn't understand it because they don't know your industry, they don't know what you're doing, they will just completely dismiss it. So one of the challenges that you have to learn very early on is how to distill like 1 or 2 lines. What is it that you do? That's the important thing, and this is an art. It took me a really long time to articulate it, right? So if you ask me, just as an example, what do I do from an entrepreneur standpoint? Is I just help other entrepreneurs build stuff. That's it, right? You want to build something that like I just help you build it. That's what I do. Okay. If you ask me from my actual business standpoint, is I help contractors um, with scheduling, project management, and billing. Right? I help them get paid faster. That's what I do from one of my startups. If you ask me from my other startup, which is LeadScore, which is basically an AI sales tool, is we just help salespeople close deals faster. You see how succinct that is, right? Like I'm like very succinct. It's like you know exactly what it is. So you want to start with I help. You want to insert whatever it is. So actually, let me write it out. I'll do it quickly for everybody because it will help you very quickly so you can understand. Because this is super important. Like it sounds like basic, but it's like very, very important for you to get this right. Okay, because your pitch depends on it when you're telling people what you do and what is it that you do. So it's like this. So it's like I help. Jeez, why is it so small? Okay, here. Okay, okay. I zoomed in way too much. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so it's like this. I help. Okay, what do you do? And then insert da ba ba. So person. So I help people. I help contract. Let me just write it out for me first, and then I'll distill. I help contractors right? With scheduling and dispatching, dispatching. Okay, so I'll break it down for you in a sec. So here, so if I highlight contractors, oops, come on, highlight contractors. So I help insert whoever it is with what. So it would be like this. Who? So let me copy this and put it here. So I help who? Sorry, WHO. So who are you helping? Okay, this is the format that I want you guys to remember every single time. Okay, super important. That it just makes sense for everybody. I help who with what. Okay, and then as a sort of like a pro bono, you could do a why, because and then you could say why, which is really the problem. Okay, so this is your format every single time. Okay, you guys remember it, you guys study it, think about it, don't forget it. Okay, just figure out what this is. So Paul, I remember you from last week. So it would be like, I help veterinary clinics with appointment bookings, right? Or I help veterinary clinics reduce cancellations or reduce missed bookings, something of that sort, right? Because they lose, you know, $20,000 a month on cancellations, right? Something like that. Okay, those are just pulling off the top of my head, but hopefully that kind of gives you a thing. I know you got to jump in a meeting, so no problem. We'll talk later on, Ms. Paul. Let me see. So I was thinking of using Astro as my framework. Okay, essentially it's a semi-autonomous system. Okay, got that. Governs its own infrastructure. What I understand with Cloudflare is that our workers API, let's say I'm building a app, will there be a repo for front end using Astro for pages and another repo for workers for API? Okay, I understand where you're getting at. Okay, let me answer your question there. So, 1 second, guys. I gotta turn it. Heat just kind of blasts in my face all the time. Gotta go. I requested to join the community but haven't been accepted. Okay, I'm gonna accept you as soon as I get off this call. Promise. Vibe coding. Matter of fact, I'm gonna log in on the other screen here, and then I'll try to accept people live as we kind of go here. So here we go. So auto mod reported disconnect. So here, let me see. If you're looking to start in the community, thanks. Looking forward to everyone. Okay, keep. Yeah, okay. I don't see your requests yet. So I'll an anniversary. I don't see your request inside of here, but it might show up in a bit. So we'll see. So okay, yeah, let me get back to your question here, Mister. With verse Cloudflare. So I'll do the Cloudflare one, and then I'm going to jump on the self-governing discipline system here, just to kind of keep up. Okay, so hopefully everybody got this. I just want to make sure that we're keeping on track. So hopefully everybody that is in here, remember this, because this is super important. Okay, you need to know I help, and then who you help, and then what do you help them with. You got to remember that every single time, all the time, every single day. Okay, because it's super important. All right. So now let me answer the Cloudflare question right off the top, so we could get some clarity on how this works. So it's like this, Cloudflare. Okay, this is you, the user. Okay, this is your app. All right, your app on the background is sitting on Cloudflare infrastructure. Okay, so we're just gonna put this as a cloud for Cloudflare network CF. Okay, this is your Cloudflare network here, okay? So, in the background, underneath the covers, basically, there's technically, there's two There's a worker, worker. There's a worker, and then there's a static folder, static folder on the background. Okay, the static folder used to be called pages before. It used to be called pages, but now Cloudflare has basically merged those. So this used to be called pages, Pages, okay? And then what Cloudflare has done is Cloudflare has merged them into one system, right? Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. Don't get too hung up on this. Here's what I'm going to tell you what to do. When you're building your application, you're going to separate them always, and I'll tell you why in a second, okay? So when you're building your application, this is what you're going to do. Let's say this is your folder structure here, right? You're going to have a folder that's called front end, and I'm going to show you a live one of this. Front, F-R-O-N-T-E-N-D, front end, and then you're going to have a folder that's called backend, B-A-C-K-E-N-D, okay? Your front end folder will have React or Astro or Vue.js or Svelte or Solid or whatever framework you want. That's what your front end is going to have. Your back end is going to use a framework right now, at least if you're dealing with Cloudflare. It's going to be called Hono. H-O. What's going on with my pen? Sorry, my pen just died. So it's going to call H-O-N-O. Hono is a framework similar to Node. H-O-N-O. N-O. Okay. No, sorry. Cloudflare Hono. H-O-N-O. Okay. It's a framework that allows you to run, think of it like Node.js for the backend, but basically this is where your backend is going to run on. Why are you going to do this? Because Hono, or Hono, however you want to pronounce it. Man, what's going on with my pen? My pen just died all of a sudden. Annoying. Let's see if we can get it back. Oh, there we go. So Hono is a what the hell is going on with it? Just okay. Sorry, I think I got it back now. So the reason why you want to do Hono is because Hono is kind of like Node. Okay, it's just a Cloudflare version. It's super fast. It's super efficient. But this will be your API backend. API. Okay. And then your front end is just going to talk to your backend using that API. So to answer your question, they're going to be some completely separate deployments, and then you're going to basically connect them on the backend. So this app, as an example, this one that I have here, which is basically is a app for tracking financial details. Let me just show you the setup very quickly. So if I go to it, and hopefully you'll be able to see it. It's a little bit small, but hopefully you'll be able to see it. No, that's not what I want. So I control plus a little bit here. Okay, so if you look at this folder here structure, now I have a little bit different show structure, but because I have a bunch of front ends, I got a mobile front end and I got some other front end. But the point is, the web front end is basically just a pure, in this particular case, it's a React app. Okay, it's just a pure React app on the front end, and all of it connects to the back end via this here, and see, this is an API, and it has its own API routes, and it has every single thing here. See here, activity routes. It has the routes and all the API on the back end. So this is how you're going to set things up all the time, every time. Okay, don't merge things in together. The React has a way where you could do server-side rendering, and you could put your server logic inside of your React app. It's a mess. Okay, separate them all the time, and then you're going to do separate deployments. Right, and if you keep doing that structure, you will always have sort of like independent logic separated. You won't merge them together, and you won't get too confused. And hopefully that helps you out, Mr. Branson thing. Okay, so self-governing digital autonomously that creates, monitors, repairs, and evolves its own infrastructure node. Each unique identifies for full lineage tracking. Lineage tracking, but I still don't know who it's for, Mr. ACOL 216. I don't know who it's for. Like, who are you selling this thing to? Okay, it's like it's a bunch of buzzwords, but the problem with your description, and again, use my framework here to kind of help you out, as I just mentioned to you. Okay, use this framework to kind of help you out. I don't know who you're selling it to, so it's hard for me to use this framework here to kind of help you out with who the thing. Give it to me in this format, okay? And then I could kind of make more sense of it. Because right now, the buzzwords that you're giving me, I could apply that to Kubernetes, or I could apply it to self-governance own infrastructure. Unity identifies a full leaders tracking system. Yeah, I could travel it. I could equate that to like project management, right? You're giving me all a bunch of buzzwords, but it doesn't tell me who this thing is for. So give me some more details. I'll come back to you, and then we'll kind of go from there. But yeah, okay. So where is I? Let me just see if I'm missing any things in the chat, because you guys are okay, bro. Got to jump on a meeting. I'll try to hop back on after. No problem. Got that. I requested to join the community. Annie, I haven't seen your requests as yet, so I'm gonna look out for it. But if I don't see it, just try to join again. There might be something's going on. Hey, how can you help someone that doesn't have any experience in coding? So I don't know how to pronounce that. Aden, maybe, yeah. Aden, you're join my community. I put the link inside of here. This is the course that I have, Foundations 101, that's going to help you out specifically with that. Okay, if you're still here, I don't know if you still are, but if you are, then do that. So yeah, where are we at? Okay, lots of questions. Hopefully I answered all of them. I don't know if I missed any. If I missed anyone, just drop it in the chat again so I can see it, because I'm gonna say the chat is going pretty fast. Can you be my mentor? Hey, happy to help in any single way. Time is always limited, but join the community. That's the number one place to start, and then we could go from there. All right. So yeah, okay. I think TikTok has kind of killed my live. I don't know as yet. We'll see. Yeah, whatever. We'll go from there. Okay. So what are we doing today? What are we doing today? So it's hard to yeah, like I said, I'm just kind of trying to keep up with who's doing what. So like I said, join the community. You'll be able to kind of get a good overview of who I am and what I'm about, and then we'll go from there. All right, so what I want to do, I want to talk about sort of all the things that I've been working on. I'm kind of having a selfish conversation with myself today. Hopefully you guys get some value with it. So all the things that I've been working on. So I've been working aggressively on building this application here, which is my LeadScore application. I'm pretty proud of where I'm at with it so far, because this thing is designed to scale to like 1 million users per account. Okay. And when I say 1 million users, it's running on the backend. So I'll talk a little bit about the backend infrastructure of this here. It's running on CosmoDB, which is an Azure Cosmo database. It's Azure NoSQL. So if you're familiar with Mongo, kind of similar thing, but just designed for scale in a very different way. Azure CosmoDB. Okay. And Azure CosmoDB is it's just a database that's designed for scale. So to let you understand who's using CosmoDB, let's just show you some numbers so you understand. Azure CosmoDB Open AI case study. So OpenAI from IDA to impact real world stories. Let me see if it in addition to Azure OpenAI. No, let me see. Zero to OpenAI. Azure Cosmos on Azure. No, that's not what I'm trying. My goodness. See, Azure has a protocol, Azure OpenAI. So Azure CosmoDB OpenAI. Let me see if I could find it. The database for your AI. Learn how to sing. Of course, I can't find it when I want it. Okay, here, let's just do ChatGPT. ChatGPT can answer this question. Hey, CosmoDB is using Azure OpenAI. Is using OpenAI for computer. Stop. What starts in 15 minutes? CosmoDB is using my goodness, jeez. OpenAI is using CosmoDB as a background database. Can you find some numbers around the scale in terms of transaction and what it's doing on a regular basis? Okay, so let's see what ChatGPT kind of comes up with. Because they're using CosmoDB on the back end. All of this stuff that I'm doing here is using CosmoDB, and I've been a huge fan of CosmoDB for a really long time. Most people don't know how to use it right, so they say it's expensive. I have found the complete opposite. CosmoDB has been extremely cheap in terms of doing all the things that that I want to be able to kind of keep using it for. So anyway, the point is that this application here have roughly about, I think, about 500,000 record inside of it right now, and it scales phenomenally. It's just, and it's super fast, it's super efficient. You'll see here when I load the tags in a bit here. It's just instantly just scales right off the top. Like there's no lag, there's no delay with it, kind of deal. It's just a very fast, efficient database. But again, you have to know how to set it up right. So here are the numbers. Let me see. Can you give me a graph or a chart with it? So here are the numbers. Let me just see. So publicly, there are about a few hard numbers. OpenAI's actual CosmoDB transaction rate, the clearest confirmed points. Microsoft says OpenAI uses Azure CosmoDB to support trillions of database transactions and petabytes of data for ChatGPT. In that ChatGPT store conversation, blah, blah, blah. Microsoft also says that CosmoDB can scale from 100 operations per second to millions of operations per second. So like a second useful scale signal that comes from OpenAI stated that ChatGPT had 500 million weekly users in 2025 and later published that users were sending more than 2.5 billion messages per day globally. That's crazy. This works out to roughly 28,000 messages per second on average. So it scales. Let's just say that, okay? It scales. You don't have to worry about scaling architecture when it comes to CosmoDB. That being said, though, if you're a newbie and you're just starting out, CosmoDB is not for you. Okay, CosmoDB is for me because I have very specific things that I'm solving for. Where you need to be is you need to be at like Cloudflare Hono. Sorry, Cloudflare D1. And why Cloudflare D1 database is because Cloudflare D1 database, I don't want to do documentation. I want to do, let's go here, right? Their Cloudflare D1 database basically is a NoSQL database that allows you to sort of scale. It only scales up to 10,000, but there's ways to make it more efficient and whatever. The way how they kind of think about it is you have a database per client or something like that, right? I don't want necessarily recommend that. So I have this application running on D1, right? Because it's really efficient that way. And I just launched a new real estate platform just recently, helping real estate developers find investors. And that's running also on Cloudflare D1 database. So really good database to get up and running really fast. So that's what I would recommend to all my newbie people. I believe what I'm building would be considered more infrastructure instead of just an app. Okay, that's fine. So infrastructure is good, Mr. Thing. But you, again, you still got to tell me what you're building, man. Like, who is this for? What kind of infrastructure? Is it for construction people? Is it for developers? Is it for like right? I'm struggling to just get the core of who you're targeting. All right. It helps DevOps teams, SREs, okay, and platform engineers are reducing manual work, yeah, preventing downtime, and maintaining reliable, self-healing infrastructure at scale. Okay, got you. Appreciate you using the format to kind of help me out. So, right, and again, that's just right? That makes a lot more sense to me. Okay, so now my first question to you is, what is Kubernetes? Right? Kuber, Kubernetes. So Kubernetes, right, is let's just add, it's an open source platform, okay, that automates the deployment, scaling, and management of containerized applications. Okay. Let me see. I'm trying to see. Maybe I should just do ChatGPT. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a screenshot of your message just to give you an idea of what I wanted you to think about this problem here. Okay, so I'm going to give you a real world demonstration of what you're up against, so you understand what you have to do. So I'm going to take a screenshot of your message, just because I can't copy it, and then I'm going to ask. I have somebody that's building a startup, and this is the description that they give me. Can you compare this to Kubernetes and tell me what's different? Okay, I'm using this as a real world example to prove a point. Okay, so you help DevOps team, right? SREs, platform engineers reduce manual work, preventing downtimes and main stuff. And the first thing that comes to my mind is Kubernetes. So let's see what ChatGPT. Based on that description alone, this does not sound like a replacement for Kubernetes. It sounds more like a tool that sits above or alongside Kubernetes that makes ops easier. Okay, so what is Kubernetes? A container orchestration, right? Scheduling, system, blah 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 blah. Gives you a thing. What his startup description sounds like is an operations, automation, reliability layer focused on reducing. One second, guys. Give me 1 second here. Let me just say, this is my brother. Hey, what's up? Hello? What's up? Just on the live. What's going on? Yeah, go ahead. Quick. Mm-hmm. So when you send them the invite, then obviously they'll get an email, they'll log in and all that kind of stuff, and then once they approve it, you click on their name, and then you'll be able to go into, you'll see the slide out, and then you can allocate it. Yeah. All right. Okay. No worries. Goodbye. Mm-hmm. Sorry, that's my brother calling there for tech support. Okay, so got you. Okay, so I just wanted to compare what you're thinking. So you're saying, so your description, so it sounds like reliability, prevent downtime, improving infrastructure, whatever cases. So is it so self-healing reliability infrastructure? That's interesting. So are there any alternative? If there are any, are there any products on the market with similar implementation or similar type of software? Give me a list of 5 of them. Okay. So I'm just kind of, what I'm doing here, ACOL 216, is I'm trying to get you to think about how to think about your differentiator, right? Because when you say those words to me, now my thought was Kubernetes. ChatGPT is telling me that no, this is not Kubernetes. He's actually saying something different. Okay, that's great. The question is, what does your product compare to, right? Because somebody's doing something similar to what you're doing already. So the question is, what does it compare to? That's number one. And then secondly is, what makes it so different, all right? So yes, there are products that are basically thinking, okay, so indent, I say, okay, so these guys I know. Focus on AI assisted incident response. Rootly, also an AI native, blah blah blah, and then think. Okay, so let's go with incident.io. Okay, move fast when you break things. It's funny. So right, so you basically get a service response, and you can basically track all of these different items and okay, so it's basically an uptime monitoring tool is the way I'm going to kind of simplify it for my brain. On call AI SRE resolve incidents super fast, right? So the next question that you have to think about, I'm going to call you, I want to say AOL every time I see your name, but I know it's not AOL, ACOL. The next thing you need to be thinking about is how does your product, how is it different than what these guys are doing, as an example? Or how is it different than Rootly, right? Which is another AI company that does similar stuff. Okay, so you have to really be able to answer this question: where AI SRE agents, your team resolve incidents together, right? So it's kind of automation. So I get the space that you're playing in. I understand the product. Now, what I really want to understand now is who is it for specifically, right? Because you say that it's for help DevOps teams, but is it DevOps teams for like a Fortune 500 company? Is it DevOps teams for like a sub $10 million company, right? Is it DevOps teams like a one-man show that doesn't have enough resources to hire people to kind of do this type of stuff? Who is it specifically for, right? So let me just break down that framework a little bit more just to kind of add some more color to it. So you say, I help contractors. So now we got, I'm going to take yours, I'm going to put inside of here. So I help DevOps. Actually, let's copy this so we could kind of keep the original. Okay. So I'm going to take yours. I'm going to bring it in here. And you're going to say, I help DevOps teams, right? With, and let's see what's the simplest way that we could describe it. Reducing manual work, preventing downtime, and maintain reliable self-healing infrastructure at scale. I like that. I really like that. It's actually pretty good. So I'm going to say I help DevOps teams with maintaining infrastructure at scale. I'm going to go with that. M-A-I-N. This needs some work, but I'm just going to go with that for a start. M-A-I-N-T-A-I-N-I-N-G. Maintaining reliable at scale. Okay, a little bit long, but that's what I'm going to go with. Okay, I help DevOps team. Make it a little bit bigger so we could think. All right. Maintaining reliable infrastructure at scale. Right, that's what I do. Okay. Now, obviously, there's a lot of details there, but I know who you're talking to. So you're talking to essentially IT professionals, for lack of oversimplification, right? IT professionals that are focusing on maintaining systems, and they're doing it at scale, right? Now we have to talk about what scale means, but the point is that this is who you are, this is who you do. So if I see this on a post on LinkedIn or somewhere else, and I'm a DevOps person, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. What do you do? Because I got some problems with some systems that I'm not maintaining properly, right? I quickly can kind of distill whether the thing that you're building is for me or not. That's kind of what you want to do, right? So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense in terms of how you got to be thinking about sort of like crafting your message to appeal to an audience, right? Then you could get into the how, right? So after this, now that I know what you do, right? Now we could talk about the how you do it, right? And then you got by reducing manual work. MANUAL work, right? With self-healing systems, right? So it's basically by reducing. It's not really reducing, it's by replacing. So how do you do it? By replacing manual work with self-healing systems, or self-healing AI systems, if you want to get into the AI game, right? Self-healing AI systems. You with me, Mr. Akal, to whatever? Give me a thumbs up if you do, or something. So that's how you got to think about it. Okay, this is how you got to kind of structure it so that it makes sense that when you tell somebody what it is that you do, right, in 1 or 2 lines, you could be very, very clear about what is it that you're actually addressing or solving or helping people think for, right? Like this is how you got to be thinking about the problem. Okay. Let me just see on the TikTok side if I got any messages or questions here. How much money do you made today? Loomer. I didn't make any money today, sir. I'm not trying to make money right now. I'm just trying to help. And but if you want to make me money, hey, by all means, I'm with you, man. Send me a check. No, I'm not. I'm not here to try to make money right this minute. I'm here to provide value, and then if I provide enough value, then somebody will pay me. All right. Join my community if you're interested. Get there's lots of free resources inside of there, and then there's it's free, 100% free, but you can also upgrade and work with me one-on-one. So that's the answer to your question. Yeah, so hopefully that helps you out, Akal 101. Like I said, drop me a message in the chat if you're understanding, you're getting value here. All right, so we got a couple of people on the live here. If you guys got questions about anything specifically around AI or development or vibe coding, drop it in the chat. I'm just gonna continue talking until I see for more thing for agents. For a agent, so what are you saying? Like by replacing manual work with self-healing AI agents? Is that what you're saying? I'm not sure. Help me. You clarify it, or give me write this back in your words and see if it makes sense. But I'm just trying to give you a framework. That's the more important thing, right? I don't want you to necessarily like have to. I want you to kind of think about how is it that I'm framing. What is it that I do, so that I can help, right? I help DevOps people. I know who is it that you're talking to. What I want, what is the problem? Maintaining reliable infrastructure at scale, because they got problems doing that. And how do I do it? By replacing manual work with self-healing AI agents or something along that lines, right? Like hopefully that gives you a framework to kind of go off for. Okay, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about I want to talk about some of the challenges that you have when you start to build a startup, because this is something that, if you're new to the game, nobody ever teaches you this stuff here. And honestly, it took me years, 20 years actually, to kind of figure this out. So let me tell you the number one problem that I'm still struggling with as a startup. Well, everybody has this problem, but I'm going to put it out anyway. Time management. Okay, this is my number one problem. And it's not just time management, right? I'll break this down in a sec, but I mean, everybody struggles with time management. So I just want to be clear with this. Like, this is not something unique to me, okay? That being said, though, underneath time management, there's a couple of things that I'm learning how to do and think about differently. It's like I need to build, right? Build my product, right? But the other thing is I also need to sell my product. Okay. So these are the two things that you're going to keep running into over and over and over again, right? And it's like, how do you split your time and what do you do? When do you split your time to buy versus sell? And here's how I want to make sure that everybody kind of thinks about this here, because this is kind of the thing. Okay, building the product is just a thing that you have to do. Nobody ever gives you any reward for doing that. Okay, they only give you a reward when you start to sell it. So you need to be thinking about it in this ratio. You need to do 60% of your time selling. I know this is going to be hard for most people. It was really hard for me at the start. In fact, I'm still struggling with it, just to be totally real with you guys. Okay. And 40%, it's really more like, technically it's like 35%. Okay. Because there's a lot of stuff that you have to kind of do inside of there, which we won't really talk about in this conversation here. But this is kind of what you need to do. And what is the definition of selling? It's posting, Reddit, DDIT, right? Twitter or X, right? It's doing all of the other stuff around the business to get the word out. It's looking for early beta testers. Okay, these are all the things that you just gotta spend the time on. And if you don't spend the time on this, you just can't grow your business. You just can't focus on the product. You can't do any single thing. But I'm being real with you guys. I'm being real with you guys here. Okay, this is how my time is spent right now. 80% on product right now, and 20% on selling. That's just I'm being real with you guys right now. That's what's going on with me right now. And but I've made this conscious choice, and I'm planning to switch it. Okay. I'm planning to literally switch it with the reverse. But what I'm doing right now, I'm building a product because I'm focused on getting all of the sales components right, and I just need to kind of work through that details. So I'm focused all my energy on that. When I'm building doesn't competes with it enhances and complements it. Got you. I understand what you're saying. Right. So you have to be thinking about your product in this sort of split all the time. So and here's the thing: when you get up in the morning, this here is the hardest thing that you have to do. So you have to do that first. It's the thing that it's like it's counterintuitive, because when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you want to do is you want to build, right? You know, outside of going to work and all this kind of stuff. You're like, oh, I don't have enough time, so I need to focus on building the product. No, you need to figure out how to sell the product first. Okay. So what does that translate to? I already talked about posting. I talk about Reddit. I talk about finding beta testers. Get a landing page. Right? Get a landing page. Create a waiting list. Okay. These are the things that you just have to do 100%. And they're going to take time to figure out the market. It's going to be taking time to figure out like which groups are interested in your products. Like there's just a lot of stuff here that's kind of hidden underneath the scenes, that's buried underneath the selling product, and it takes time. So you have to do the reverse, right? I can't stress this enough. Questions from my people? Okay, I got too many juices in front of me. I'll drink some coffee or juice. I don't know which one I want. How about both? Okay, so if you don't do this, you're not building a business. Okay, you're building a hobby, and you want to go build a hobby. Sure, go do your hobby thing. We're not here about hobbies. We're here about building real businesses. And real businesses, you got to start thinking about it differently, and that means you got to be doing 60% selling, 35% building, because there's other stuff left inside of there. But you know, maybe just to keep the numbers straight, there's like we'll just put it as this. But there's administrative stuff inside of there that has to be done. Okay. To this day, this is the thing that I struggle the most, and I've been doing this for 20 years, guys. I've been doing it for 20 years. Just think about that. Okay, so I'm telling you this because if you don't do it right, you're gonna struggle. And think, all right, so that's a use case. The large ecosystem in a side agent. You got to help me out here, Ikal. Your messages are a little cryptic. That's a use case that is part of a larger ecosystem in a side an agent. I'm struggling with your message. And I certainly understand the context. Okay, I'll leave that for now until you get me some more context in terms of things. So anyway, until you can't. Gotcha. That's a use case so you can't see. Yeah, you know what? Reach out to me, join the community, reach out to me, and then it'd be good to just have a one-on-one and just try to understand the details of your thing. Like, what's your background? You're not a developer, right? You're a are you IT guy? You're a DevOps person? Yeah. Um. Yeah. Reach out to me and okay. So, how do you handle authentication in Cloudflare? Do you use Clerk or Better Auth? Um. Let me give you the. I'll give you the 1 minute answer, the 30-second answer, and then I'll give you the answer the real answer. The shortest answer is I use whatever authentication is right for the project. I don't use Clerk because I won't say I don't like Clerk. I think Clerk is behind the implementation thing. They're doing some things right, but I just don't. Let me go tread carefully here because I don't have any single thing against Clerk. I just don't think they're right for me. Let me just put it that way. So for this project, it's very simple. It's start for free. Okay, so you got to watch this video here. But when you do that, after that, you click on you click here. It says continue with Google. This is using Better Auth. So you click this here. You click on this button here. You click on that. It gives you authentication. You log in, and then you're in the app already. Okay, that's Better Auth. Super fast, super easy, straightforward. And I'll be using Better Auth more and more because of that simplicity. Okay. For my apps, for example, this one here, this is using Auth0, not Better Auth. So why am I using Auth0 and not thing? Well, first of all, Auth0 was kind of one of the original ones in this space before Clerk and all these guys kind of came about. That's number one. Number two is security is not just about login. It's having a layer of protection, so for DDoS attack and all the other craziness that comes with it. And right now, Better Auth doesn't have any of those features. They're trying to build a real product around it that's going to solve some of those problems, but they don't have that today. So I wouldn't use them on any enterprise grade application, right? However, Clerk does do that. But the thing that I don't like about Clerk is that Clerk it kind of sits in just React territory, and I just don't have only React. Like, I don't like the fact that I have to take Clerk's component and put it into my app. I don't want that at all. Because if I decide to change provider, I have to gut all that stuff out. So I don't want any provider that will allow me to kind of have to use their plugin. I know that Clerk that's not the only way to implement Clerk, but my point is that that's how most people implement Clerk. Okay. That being said, though, on Cloudflare, I'll pull up Cloudflare here for a sec. The quickest way that you could launch an app and do security is basically doing this. So if you come into Cloudflare, come into a worker, any worker for that matter. Let me see if I could find one here as an example. So actually, I could use this app because this is not it's not a real production app, right? So this app here, okay, I'll just give you a real example. So this is a security. Well, it just happened to be a security app, but it's a parking enforcement security app, okay? So if I do this, you see it has me here. If I come to Cloudflare, you could come and click on this link right here. Click on this 3 dots, and you could just check off that box that says enable security. And now if I come back here and I click on a refresh, it just bumps me to, see, unable to find application access. And if I set it up correctly, it'll send me straight to a login page. So Cloudflare has this built in. I won't recommend that you use this unless you're scaling really, really large enterprise type application. But for a quick, easy, put the password on so that your users could just kind of test it. This is the quick and easy, dirty way to do it. So yeah. So Cloudflare has this built in. But like I said, if you're doing real security, then I would go out with a Clerk. That would be my least option. I would definitely use Better Auth. because that's a very good implementation, and the AI is doing a really good job with it right now. And for me, all of my apps use Auth0. Now I am planning to switch to WorkOS because WorkOS has some more advanced features that I need for the bigger use cases that I'm dealing with. So yeah. I'm building an agent, and this is just one capability. Got you. I got you. Jack says, "Hi. Wonder how you can stream PC. I wonder how you can stream PC screen on TikTok. Oh, okay. I'm just using the TikTok Studio app, buddy. So I'm just on the TikTok Studio app, and so I have two streams going live right now. I have one of them that's I'm using Ecamm to push out to YouTube and Instagram or whatever, and then I'm using TikTok Studio to stream to TikTok right now. Hopefully that answers your question. But yeah, I'm learning this stuff. I just been figuring things out as I go. So the TikTok Live Studio is good. I just wish I could live studio from TikTok to other platforms like Instagram as an example. So I haven't figured out how to do that because on the desktop I'm streaming in 1080p like this, and on TikTok I'm streaming in a vertical way. And I would like to take this stream that I have on TikTok and push it out to Instagram, and I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So yeah. No problem, man. No problem. Thanks for stopping by. Join the community if you're into vibe coding or anything. So where was I? There's too many so many conversations going that I'm jumping all over the place. So anyway, for whoever is new here, join the community. Like I said, this is where I can answer more specific questions about things, even though people have asked questions in there. I just gotta acknowledge that I haven't been as active as I'd like to in the community as yet. And I appreciate all the hearts. You guys are giving me tons of hearts, so that's really, really appreciated on TikTok. Who's thumbs up? I got 2 thumbs up on YouTube. I got 4 people inside of there. If you guys could thumbs it up, that would be great. Okay, so what else are we talking about? Let's jump back to some of the other things. In terms of, this is more of an advanced thing, but I'll talk about it anyway. One of the things that I've been running into of lately is the fact that because I'm building multiple different apps. Okay, so this has to do around security, but it also has to do with architecture. We'll talk about it for a sec. So I'm building. Jeez, come on, what's going on with pen, man? What's going on with my pen? Ah, annoying. Is it because it... Yeah, my pen is dying. There we go. It's working and then it's not working. It's working and then it's not working. And it's not a battery thing. It doesn't use battery. So it's okay. So let me just explain. So I have a couple things that I've been doing. I'm building multiple apps. Okay. So I got SnapSuite. I'm going to put SS for SnapSuite. I got another app that I'm building. It's called LeadScore LS. I got another app that I'm building. It's called Affordly. I'm going to put AF. I got another app that I'm building. It's called a social media app for posting social media videos. Social media SM. I got another app that I'm building for a real estate platform. And I'm not just getting started. I got a internal app that I'm building for internal stuff. I'm going to put I here. Okay. These are just like some of the basics app that I'm building just on a regular basis at this particular point. And that doesn't include any of the mobile stuff, okay, which is a whole other category by itself. So one of the problems that you'll start to run into as you start to vibe code these large or at least multiple different applications at once is how do you like centralize things, because you keep you keep redoing the same thing multiple times. Yeah, 100% you could join me, Mr. Thing. Here's a link for the school community, Ms. Yvonne. So here's so there's multiple different apps that you're building. So what end up happening is you end up with the same set of functionality across multiple apps, right? So think about it this way. All of the apps need security. Okay, there's cross-constant concerns around all of the apps, right? Let's just highlight them all. I'm just gonna type because my pen is just going crazy. So all of the apps need security. Okay, all of the apps need some sort of user management system. Okay, all of the apps, right, need, we're gonna say security slash login. Let's just say login slash auth, right? Author user management, and then you might have what do you call it? Permissions, right? All of the apps need this. Like, we'll just go with this list for now. There's tons of other stuff that they need in terms of commonality. Okay, so this becomes sort of a problem because you end up recreating the same thing over and over and over. So what I've been doing of lately is just building out an architecture that allows it to kind of share the same underlying infrastructure. There's no point in recreating the wheel. So what I've basically been doing is all of the apps essentially route to the same set of backend infrastructure. And for the people that know Cloudflare, this is basically a Cloudflare worker, right? I'm oversimplifying the conversation a little bit here, but basically there's a Cloudflare worker that kind of monitors all of this stuff. So whenever you log into whichever app, it'll just redirect you. Each of the app has their own identification. Okay, that identification system is stored in a database, in a centralized database. And so depending on the app, whenever it logs in to whatever security system, it gets routed to the database accordingly, right? So you could have, just picture each app has their own database, right? You could do it that way. And there's the centralized location to route them to each app, right? This allows you to kind of standardize on all of the things that are consistent across all of the UI for all of the different apps, push them into one location. The variables between each app just changes by a couple parameters, and you centralize that to the database, but then each app on the back end has their own thing. So this is how I've been thinking about things all together, because it makes things significantly easier. Now, so Vaughn is asking here, you should do multi-tenant solution, and each app is a microservice and a tenant. Yes, 100%. So in that database system, there is a multi-tenant system. That's one. And then number two, to add layers of complexity, if I don't want to deal with that, it also, each app has the ability to do sub-accounts. So one of the things that I'm doing is I plan to distribute these apps by selling it to other people who will then sell it to other people, right? This is the way you could do the multiply effect. So each app has a concept of a franchise model built into it from day one. So in other words, one app can have multiple users. A user could be a franchise. That franchise could have multiple tenants underneath that franchise, right? And this is just a bit distribution model that I've built in from day one on the initial architecture, so that it can stand the test of time in terms of like scaling and doing partnerships and other stuff with other businesses in later on, right? Now, you can't just do this overnight, just to be clear. I've just been doing this for quite a while, building multi-tenant app, and then I kind of came up with this solution altogether, right? In the past, one of the biggest problems that I had was I built multi-tenant applications, and what I did with it was I used to create one database for each tenant, and that was a nightmare. Because then when you got to update schema, you got to update schema across all the different applications, and that was a really, really big problem. Microsoft had brought out a solution called Azure SQL Database Pool to solve this problem, and it was just let's just say it was just a flop and a nightmare. Azure Elastic Pool, that's what they call it, right? All right, so you could kind of scale resources together. This was a nightmare. This cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars, literally, and it just didn't work. And so now I've changed my business model. I was like, one database, one particular multiple tenants inside of there. And if we have a really, really large tenant and they pay us for it, we'll give them a separate database. But this allows us to just centralize every single thing. Vaughn says, okay, multi-agent solution with commission model. Yes, literally. All right. So built in from day one. built in from day one. But again, you have to be thinking about this in sort of a very abstract way. It's very hard to do that at the start if you're just starting out. So, but if you be doing it for a while, then that makes a lot of sense, right? Yeah. So with that, just to give you an idea, right? Like this lead score application is like, okay, so let me just talk about what this application is because most people don't know what it is and I don't talk about it enough. So this application is designed to do one thing. One salesperson should be able to manage 100,000 leads, period. Okay. In fact, let me just go to my demo account so I can just show you something here quickly. So let's see if I could go to my demo account here. Okay. So I could go to my demo, then I could uncheck this here, and then I could click on this one here, and I got a phone number here. Okay, I call it. So I'm going to click on call here. I'm going to call this number. Let me put it on thing here. Oops. Okay, hang on. Hang on. It's voicemail. So let me just I gotta take my phone. My phone recognizes that I'm in a meeting right now. So or decent. So I'm gonna go to oh no, why is it personal? No, work. Yeah, that's right. Should be fine. I think it's going to voicemail because I think so. Here, let's try that again. There we go. Okay. Hello. I got. Jeez, okay, hang on, hang on. I gotta figure out. Sorry, what's this about? Yeah, no problem. We use. All right. Okay, you guys got the idea, right? You don't get to see a full sales call. So that's what I'm building. That's what I'm testing right now. I'm just working on the nuances, right? I don't like it, it still feels a little bit robotic, but I have it pretty close. I have it pretty close. So I'm just working out. Thanks, Ron. You say that's cool. So it's a little bit close. Now, what I might end up doing, now might, I'm going to do this at the start. So I'm going to be making the sales calls directly. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it do the follow-ups for me. To, because sometimes you might have a sales call with somebody and then they might have a conversation with you. And then the next 3 weeks, you try to follow up with them. So I'm going to have it do the follow-ups. Hey John, this is Dwayne's assistant, just trying to reach out to you to see if you are interested in booking a call with us. That kind of stuff. Because it's more tolerable that way versus me doing the initial sales call. So I'm trying to come up with the right hybrid solution of when the AI makes the call versus when I make the call. And it's going to be a collaborative experience versus all or nothing, which is what most people are trying to do. Most people are trying to get their AI to just make calls all the time, but I don't think that it's ready as yet. Okay, it's close, but it's not perfectly ready as yet. So with that, I'm going to do a hybrid collaborative type of approach, and that's case to the goal. So, but the reason why I showed you that is because that's what this tool is doing. Okay. Now, when I come off that call, it's supposed to automatically transcribe the notes and give me a summary of it, so that the next time I jump on the phone, the system, the AI, has more context about the call that it did previously, and it'll keep building its own context automatically. Every time it makes a call, it'll make its own context, so at least know what, how to kind of frame the call. And the goal is that it's going to optimize itself for each client specifically, because it's going to have its own data training model, mini training data for each lead that is calling consistently. That's basically the goal. That's where I'm going with it. I'm just working through the kinks and the little details about it, right? The point is, the mission with this product is one salesperson should be able to make 100,000 calls or manage 100,000 leads without even like thinking about it or breaking a sweat. That's the mission of this product. So to do that, That's one layer, right? So if I could use this product, I could have like a sales team doing it kind of deal. But the way how I'm envisioning it is kind of like what this Go High Level. I don't know if you guys know about Go High Level, where I could now be an agency that sells this to other agencies or sells this to other people. And so that's where that franchise model multi-tenant layer kind of comes into play, right? So that was built in from day one. And again, I'm running on Cosmo DB on the back end for this, for those who know Azure, right? So yeah. Um, all right. So yeah, you guys ask questions if you want. I got tons of stuff I could talk about, but I'm kind of feeding off of the energy of the room to figure out what you guys want me to talk about or not, right? But for those who are new, um, you know, I have a school community. You could join the school community, and you can learn a lot of the things that I'm thinking. So this voice thing that I just showed you guys, I'm working on a tutorial on how I did it. And if you're curious, for the technical people that are in the room, I'm using a platform called LiveKit, which is, in my opinion, the only platform to use. Okay, who's using LiveKit? ChatGPT is. So if you pick up the phone and you talk to ChatGPT, that's what they're using in the background. It took me a really long time to figure that out because I was really digging to figure out how are they doing this voice technology stuff, because I know they didn't just go out and build their own. And then finally I found the company. So they're doing some really cool stuff in the space. They're just getting started. It's kind of a brand new company, like only like 4 or 5 years, but they got some really, really cool innovations that they're doing. And so I'm building on to them. That being said, though, Vappy is no slouch. I don't know if you guys know about Vappy. So Vappy is another agent. I just signed up with them recently. I've been testing their voice model. It's good. Okay, actually, you know what? Let's do a call with them. Let's just do it. Why not? Let's. No, I don't want to do voice. No, I think I do. No. What am I doing here? Hang on a second here. Where's my what? Where's my? Oh, jeez. Okay, 1 second. Let's log in here. So look at this. Let's let me see if I could AI receptionist inbound. Okay, this is inbound. This is not outbound. This is inbound. So let's test it. How do I do this again now? I gotta call the phone. I gotta call the phone. I gotta call the phone number. Hang on. I gotta remember how to do it. So okay, so the assistant is here. I just gotta call the number, but I just gotta remember. So I have it in the phone here anyway. Is it this one? What is the phone number that I have in here? Let me just see clear. So inbound. Okay, so it's AI receptionist inbound, and let's just do a test. No, let me do a phone number. Did I delete it? Try again. You know what? I might have deleted it. Okay, hang on. We'll try one more time and then I'll. Okay, AI assistant receptionist. Let's just do tests and see what happens. Create a test suite. Run test suite. Okay, where's my test? Okay, here's my test suite. I might have deleted it. Oh man, I might have deleted it. Okay, never mind. Let me see if I could just talk to her directly. They made some changes to the UI platform, and it's a little bit harder to kind of test it live without like let's see, test, chat, talk to assistant. That's not what I want. Voice. Oh, it's so annoying. Advanced. Phone numbers. Twilio Vappy test. Okay, maybe this is the number. Let me just try calling this number and see if it's the right one. I might not. 3655. Okay, let's try calling it and see.
For calling. How can I help you today?
Oh yeah, here. Hey, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing well, thank you. How can I assist you today?
So I was trying to book an appointment. Like, I need my. I got a question about my dog.
I can help with booking an appointment for you, could you please provide me with your first name, email address, preferred date and time for the appointment, and the reason for the visit?
Yeah, okay, so here's the deal. I want to actually just ask a quick question before I book the appointment. Is that okay? Like, I just want to, okay, let me tell you what the problem is. My dog has some rash. I just want to see if I can get some help on that.
I understand your concern. For specific medical advice or questions about your dog's condition, it's best to speak directly with a professional. Would you like me to transfer you to someone who can assist you further with your question?
Is there any way that you could give me some help?
Unfortunately, I can't provide medical advice or diagnose your dog's condition. However, I can help you schedule an appointment with a professional who can take a closer look and assist you. Would you like to book an appointment?
Okay, fine. Well, okay, let's book the appointment.
Great. Let's get started. Could you please provide me with your first name, email address, preferred date and time for the appointment, and the reason for the visit?
Okay, can you just go slow? I'll just give you one at a time. You're just talking too fast.
Of course, I apologize for that. Let's take it step by step. Could you please start by providing your first name?
Sure, it's Dwayne.
Thank you, Glenn. Could you please provide
Dwayne
me with
is my
your
name.
email address?
Hey, my name is Dwayne, buddy, not Glenn.
Thank you for clarifying, Dwayne. Could you please provide your email address?
See that was actually pretty good. I actually of all the agents that I've been testing so far, this one, this one is by far the best agent that I've seen. Like there's some nuances inside of there, right? It was going so well until the name part. Yes, you're 100% right. Yeah. Right. So it's pretty good. It's very, very, very close, right? There's some little nuances aside, but there's a couple things that I've learned when just talking to these AI agents all the time. If you have a little bit of background noise, it really helps with the sort of like the feeling that yes, this guy's in a call center. That's number one. So you could simulate that, right? And then the model has to be so this is what I like about the VAPI interface. They tell you the model and they tell you the milliseconds. So in my testing so far, you have to be 600 milliseconds or down in your response time. Okay. Now there's kind of a trade-off because if you do, like for example, this, so the one that I was using, just to be clear, was ChatGPT 4.0, which is crazy. This is like way back in the day model. Cluster 600 milliseconds. Okay, and it's pretty cheap. It's like 0.03 per thing. However, if you do a 4.0 mini cluster, it's half of the second. I see it's 390 milliseconds, so it's even faster response time. The problem that I see with that one though is that it doesn't do as good of a job addressing the nuance of the human. So that's kind of the trade-off that you're dealing with, right? You're dealing with this trade-off of like, hey, how much should I tell the model? How much should the model be able to like interact with the human versus just do the thing that you ask it to do? And that's kind of the trade-off. Why not use retail? Oh, hang on, let's go to retail. I actually don't know retail. RETELL. Okay. Retail.ai pricing. All right, so let me answer some questions around this, okay? Because there's 100 of these things coming online. I've done some calculations, and a couple of things that I recognize. So according to my calculation, the numbers are somewhere. I should pull it up while I'm having this conversation. I'll try to see if I could find it. But according to my calculations, okay, your retail is about the same pricing as 0.07. Okay, so you're at the same level as so here, let me see, what was this here? So see here, that AI cluster, the one that I just did, was 0.03, so roughly half already pricing wise, right? And there's 0.01 in terms of pricing. So what I've noticed is that a lot of these companies are sitting higher up the stack, so the cost is much higher. If I go to this VAPI as an example to give you some pricing numbers, see here, calls are at 0.05 per minute for calls. SMS chatter is 0.005 per minute kind of deal. What I've worked it out to be in is about, after you finish all the different stuff, because there's a couple integration, it turns out about 0.3 cents per minute. If I think that's right. Yeah, I think that's about 3 cents a minute. I have the calculations in here because we working it out, working through the details. Voice agent performance, is this it? Let me see. No, not that one here. LLM email. Let me see if I can find it. So it's like VAPI pricing. Let me see if I could find it. I can imagine being used with a phone call or scam and the social engineering to get information. Oh, this is we're in really really rough territory here as a human species. Let's just be clear about this, okay? Yeah, we're going down some dark roads in the future. You're 100% right. The scammers are gonna love this, okay? The level of sophistication of these AI models with a little bit of nuance and a little bit of like just playing with the sort of like the latency and the ability to predict how when the human is going to talk and when the human is not going to talk is making these things almost indistinguishable. Like I could still tell a little bit, right? And that's because my ear is kind of tuned for it, but 100% certainty. My mom, no clue. And you give my grandma or whatever, like not even a chance. Okay. So now you have a little bit of proper information about that person, have some details about their banking and whatever cases, the scammers are just gonna go crazy. It's really sad, but it's a reality. Okay, let me give you guys some hard numbers. So this is the research that I did, okay, on this. So here are the numbers that I came up with based on what I think. So if you spend, so again, why do I first of all, let me just answer the question. Why do I care about this first of all? Because it's like, what am I doing this? I'm doing this because I don't have enough time to be on the phone all day long. That's number one. Number two is I want to be able to book appointments with clients, whoever they are, and then the day before or an hour before, have my AI assistant call to confirm bookings. That's number two. And then number three is I'm looking into doing this for doctors' appointments and dentist appointments and that kind of stuff to do follow-up calls. So those are the use cases that I'm trying to think about when I'm doing this. All sales related to convert calls into money right away, right? So calls into an appointment translate to money, okay? So that's the reason. So with that in mind, I'm thinking about this being roughly about 5 hours of calling per day. So in other words, if you were to have your AI assistant call 5 hours a day, nonstop, every single day, 5 days a week, what would the cost be? Because that's what I care about, right? I want to figure out how much costing would it be for me to sell this to a company or whatever. So these are the numbers here, okay? If I use Twilio is the most expensive, okay, at that 5 hours. So just to be clear, that 5 hours translate to about 6,500 minutes in total. 5 hours a week, 25 hours plus, times thing, and then you convert it into minutes. It's 6,500 minutes, okay? So Twilio, pure carrier cost is going to be about $92. Signal Wire and Telnex are cheaper at $50. So I was like, okay, well, why don't I just use Signal Wire? However, it turns out the numbers are not that big of a difference when you go up higher. So if I just use LiveKit alone, which is the one I just showed you, the first one I showed you guys, you're looking at about $21 to $91 roughly. Okay, so let's go on the high end with $91. OpenAI costs, because these things are using OpenAI in the background, right? Looking about $100 there, so you're about $200. So estimated, you're looking about $200 to $300, right? $215 to $285. So I'm always taking the high number. Okay. So on the highest end right now, I'm at call it $300 for an AI model to do calling 5 hours a day. 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, $300. Okay. So this is with LiveKit. Now, if you go up the ladder, so you somebody mentioned this guy here, Real Retail and Vappy. So I have those costs in here. Let me just see. VAPI. Yes, Vappy. Okay. So I have that. Let me just see what it is there. Okay, here. So compare with Vappy by agent. Okay, so same thing. Vappy plus Twilio. You're looking at about $400. So it's about double. Still within perfect reach, right? Because you could charge, a company anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 a month to be able to do this. Well, actually, that's not true. An assistant, let's just think through the details here. If I had a human assistant doing this work, I'd be paying them, I don't know, $2,500 to $3,500 a month, roughly. Okay. So my assistant in my world has to be about a third of the price cheaper. So if I'm with Vappy at 415, right? Double it. Maybe I could charge $1,000 a month for my service, and that would be roughly a third of a price. Okay. I see companies already using this on the phone calls. Yeah, it's a great model. It works, right? You just have to justify the costs, and there's a couple agencies that you could do it with. Dentists for sure, doctor's office probably, like confirming appointments. Any single thing where there's appointment type stuff. Why? Because dog appointments, right? Like all that kind of stuff, like veterinary clinics, that kind of thing. Fantastic use cases for this type of thing. People will tolerate any nuance in the call, for sure. It's okay. What about banks and insurance? So I would recommend you stay away from any like deep regulatory industries at this particular point, right? Because I mean, you could. I just think that the banks are going to be a little bit more skeptical about using it. I don't know. I don't. Maybe not. Right? I'm sure they're testing their own models internally, but I would say that they would want to keep those things internally to themselves rather than have a third party do it, unless you're like a really big company. But if you're calling like a mom and pop dentist or a doctor, you could definitely sell this for sure, right? And you could make anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 a month per thing, and the numbers work out. There's no, if you're calling 5 hours a day with an agent, you're doing a lot of volume because these calls are like 1 minute, 2 minutes call, 3 minutes, right? Like they're not 5 hours a day amount of calls. So I think it's actually a really good business model, and that's the reason why I'm exploring it. But I'm also telling you guys this because I want to share the knowledge that I've learned so far, and then you could think. Let me see. So yeah, they use it when I was making appointments for a dentist. Yes, there you go. Yeah, so 100% correct. That would be the use case, right? So the person that asked about retail, do you have experience with it? Because I haven't used them at all. And actually, that was the one thing I want to mention. So Vappy was the comparison and the pricing. Sorry, was a little bit cheaper than them. What was the pricing? Yes, 0.5, right? So 0.5, these guys are 0.7. Okay, so it would work out a little bit more expensive than um than um this. So maybe it'd be around 500, still within good range. So for me, it's like I'm just trying to find the company that's going to give me the biggest margin, that has the best voice assistant. And so far, Vappy is where I would sit if I just want to like I don't want to write code myself. But if I'm writing code, I'm using Liskit all day long because I'm even cheaper at that particular point, right? I'm getting 800. Like if I were to charge $1,000 a month to a dentist, as an example, the difference is with Vappy, I'm getting about, what's that, $600, right, roughly. If I'm doing it with Liskit and I'm actually writing the code to implement it, I'm getting $800. If I'm doing it with these guys here, I'm getting $500, right? So they're cutting into my margin. So that's the reason why I've been using those two. Also, I'm interested in reselling the voice AI solutions. Are you? Okay, so hey, have capabilities of 20 concurrent calls. Oh, they have. Okay, I see. Please talk about SM you're building. Sorry, about the SM small business you're building. So you're talking about this product here that I was talking about earlier. So this product that I'm working on is basically doubling as both a sales assistant AI system. It's doing a bunch of research. So I'll give you an example. This is my demo account, so I can show you guys this. Okay. So the goal is you import a whole bunch of data into this, and then you click on this and you see like I could say add to speed dial, add to speed dial, or add to research, sorry, add to research. Okay. So I could add a whole bunch of leads to research. Okay. Then what I do is I click on my research tab here, and I have all the companies that I added to research, and have the AI go in the background and do the work for me. So what is it going to do? It's going to go out to the website. It's going to find the website. It's going to pull in the information. It's going to also categorize the details. Tell me who is it that I'm selling to? What is it? What is service area that they have? What's the location? What are the things that makes this company unique? Who are the contacts? All of the contacts for the company. What are their online activities? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on Facebook? Are they on, like, whatever it is? If they're in Google ratings, what's their average Google ratings review? News, press release, the whole 9 yards. It's going to give me a whole nine thing, and then I can do a deep dive. We won't talk about that. Okay. So with that, I could say, yeah, this company I'm interested in, add them to my speed dial list. When I go to my speed dial list now, I have a whole bunch of companies that I'm interested in working with, and I could just basically speed through calling these companies up. Let me see if I got here. So if I'm calling the companies up, on the right hand side of this tool here is showing me the website of the company, and it's giving me a brief overview of what this company is about. So that when I'm on the phone with them, I could just jump through really, really fast. There's a whole bunch of test data, so it's not doesn't have a good bunch of websites in there that are proper. But the idea is that I could keep doing that. So you don't have phone numbers for these guys here. Let me go down to the ones where I have phone numbers here. Okay. I could keep doing this, and then I could click on the call button and then just basically make a call to them. Right. The reason why you're not seeing the call button is because some of them don't have phone numbers, because it's just a bunch of garbage data in here. Right. I click on the call button. I talk to the person really fast. See, hey, what is it doing based on the summary, and then from there, the AI system will automatically transcribe the notes, automatically summarize the notes, and then I move on to the next call, like seamlessly. Okay. And then let's say I get an appointment, then I put the appointment date, and my AI will basically do the follow up automatically. I don't have to think about it. That's basically what the goal is. That's the focus of this tool. So it's just streamlining the process. And the only reason I came to this conclusion is because I used to use a tool, just to give you guys a little backstory. I used to use a tool called Just Call. Okay. I tried every one of these tools. They're all garbage. I'm sorry. I have no apologies in saying that, other than I don't want to offend anybody. But it's garbage. Okay. These things are really great. They have all kinds of stuff, but the problem with them is that there's just a hodgepodge of a tool. So when I got this tool, I was paying about $150 a month for this. I had two salespeople on it, and every single day I had to be uploading leads into it, and then be like sorting out the leads, and then it was hard to keep track of like which leads I call and which ones I have to follow up on. It had some really cool features, but it was just too much management work, and I was like, you know what, I could build a better tool than this. And so I started working on this platform to augment that process and just to streamline the entire thing. All right. Do you know you need opt-ins to use AI voice agent to make calls? Cold calling not allowed. Yes, this is a reality. So I have ideas about this problem, but yeah, 100%. We're trying to follow the rules. But here's the other thing. I'm not just trying to call North America. I'm trying to call Caribbean places and other places that don't necessarily have those rules. But yes, no, you're 100% right about this. I'm aware of there's some legalities here. But my philosophy right now is I'm building out the infrastructure, and then we're going to figure out the legality part of things. For example, like SMS messaging, which exists in this tool, we need to get the AP. It's a whole stupid name. What's it called? Application to person, A2P, 10 digit license. So that's a thing. Yeah, A2P. There we go. Yeah. So I'm familiar with it. It's just like it's not my focus right this minute. Twilio does a couple things to kind of help with this and whatever. So we're like, you know what, we're gonna kick that can down the road. We're gonna solve the problem first, then figure it out later on. Around the legality, because there's companies that you can do this for. So for example, if we have like if it's already our existing customers, right, we could potentially do that. Or if they already engage with us on some level, right, we could reach out to them with it. Like there's ways to kind of work through this problem. And frankly, if the government is coming for me, then they got problems. So yeah, so we'll sort of figure out sort of like where the gray areas are in terms of pushing the product through. But I'm with you. Um, Hey, listen, I appreciate you guys jumping out today. Like I got quite a few engagement today. Like it's kind of cool to see so many people on live. We got about, I mean, I'm no celebrity here. Just to be clear, I got 5 people on YouTube and I got 6 people on the TikTok troop. So like it's we got a decent crowd. But ask your questions, talk about whatever whatever questions you got. Um, and I think I'm trying to go through the answer questions here. So I'm just trying to catch up on the YouTube side of things. So I'm building an agent. As just said, thank you. This was very helpful. No problem. I submitted to join. Great. I'm sorry I'm typing in between red lights. Yes, and dirty. Don't crash your car. Okay, like. Don't be like, oh, I was talking to Dwayne online and he had some great, valuable advice that he just made me crash. Like, please don't do that. Drive safely. Um, nice live, amazing. Thank you, man. I really appreciate it. Right, appreciate it for sure. So yeah, we could talk about any single thing. I still got time. I just wanted to just kind of level set and just talk about some of the things that I'm working on and why I'm working on it, right? But just for all the new people here that don't know who I am, I mentioned my school community, but I'm going to mention it again. I've learned that in marketing, you have to keep saying the same thing over and over. So I have a school community. Please join the school community in here. If you're non-technical, this is the place for you. In fact, it's the only place for you. Okay, I don't care what these other communities have or what they're saying. This is the community for you, and the reason why is because I spent 20 years doing software development and being an entrepreneur, and I basically just distilled all the complexities to like really really simple information that you could just go in there and just learn, and they're like 5 minutes, 6 minutes. They're nothing complex. Okay, and the reason I did this is because I spent about an hour to 2 hours every single week teaching my mom computers and stuff. And frankly, I've been doing that for 13 years, and still to this day, I still got to teach her how to like send an email. All right, so if there's anybody that understands the pain of teaching non-technical people, it's me. All right, and so as a result of that, I wanted to build a course that even if you're like a non-technical beginner, you can kind of join it and whatever. What's your title? Title for my company or title for like which title? I got like 100 different titles. If you're asking about my name title, it's Brown, my work title. So I'm founder and CEO. That's my title. I'm founder. So my main company, just to give you some background, this is my main company, SnapSuite. It's a software for helping contractors. So it's a contractors for building, keeping track of their projects, project management, billing, scheduling, the whole 9 yards. In fact, let me show you guys that system because, yeah, I generally mean it. I've been around for a bit. Okay, so this is that software tool here. It does a ton of stuff. Okay, in the simplest way I could describe it is this: if your light bulb went out today, like right now, okay, you'd pick up the phone, you call an electrician, right? Now, I know you know how to fix a light bulb, but just bear with me. So you'd call the phone, you'd pick up the phone, you call an electrical company. That electrical company would pick up the phone and it's like, hi, how are you doing? What's your name, sir? And they would basically just enter your information in this system. And then they would create a work order. They would basically say, John's light bulb is broken. We need to go out there and fix it. They put that information inside of there. And then once they create that work order, they would come in here, they click on this little truck icon, and then they would choose, they would say, hey, we're going to send Ralph Smith to go to your house, and we're going to dispatch it. That's what the system does. And it does a ton of other stuff. It has a quotation system inside of there. It has a purchase order system. It has a calendar system. It has a whole bunch of stuff. And then most importantly, it has a billing system inside of there. So you can do billing and you can do accounts receivable. I literally just launched this recently. So you can do all this type of stuff. So that's what it does. The purpose of this platform is to reduce the time it takes for people to go from quotation to invoice. Just shrinks it. And then help them to keep track of their technicians and um, the work and the hours and all that kind of fancy stuff. I've been building this for a while, guys. This is not like an overnight thing here that I vibe coded. Okay, this is like something that's been around for like nearly 15 years now. Okay, so that's what I built there. The problem is, we had some success and then we failed, and we had some success and then we failed again. Okay, because we just couldn't get the platform going fast enough. We had so many users come in for it, and then we couldn't keep them because the platform wasn't ready. It had so many problems and issues and etc. And people just left. Okay, so I started over from scratch, just rebuilt the whole thing and thing. And so now with vibe coding, I could go significantly faster. But we have customers on it, and they're using it, and they're liking it now that it's better, right? And we sell it at, just so you get an idea of the pricing, $350 a month, $550 a month, $950 a month. Those are sort of the regular prices, and they'll integrate into QuickBooks, etc. Right? Easy quotes. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Similar to that kind of deal, right? What makes it different? If you ask the question, thanks for asking. One of the biggest things that we had in the past was the fact that, see, if you click on this button here, it literally takes Microsoft Word documents, and then it takes a Microsoft Word document, it converts it into PDF, and then it uploads it. This doesn't sound like a big deal today, but back then, 10 years ago, this was a big deal because most of the companies that we were dealing with, they had Microsoft Word and Excel documents, and they wanted to reuse that, not change it. And so we basically inject data on top of it. Today, this is like, child's play. YouTube question here. Nice live, amazing. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. And then Rejoice here. Are you coding the SaaS today? I'm trying to, trying to. I got a lot of questions. So the truth is, I'm probably not gonna end up actually doing actual coding. I'm just talking about the things that I'm working on and thing. However, feel free to join the school community. And if you got questions specifically about it, then we could talk a little bit more. But yeah, I'm sort of like semi building, semi talking. I'm actually, let's be real, I'm not building at all. I haven't typed a single code since I think. That's what I normally do on the lives. But the truth is that I've been getting so many questions from different places. I've just been trying to just share what I know and just talk about stuff. So yeah, it's kind of a thing. Do you know about cybersecurity? Well, I know enough. I know enough, but I can't say I'm a professional by any means. Sorry. I guess the question is, what are you trying to know? Right. So, I could tell you how to secure an application. I could tell you. Sorry, I'm trying to eat a yogurt here at the same time. Keep my energy up. Okay, because your title says Code and Tree SaaS application live. Yes, it does. And I am technically. I just haven't started that part as yet. So the 3 applications I'm working on right this minute: LeadScore AI, this application here that's called Affordly, which is a AI, which is an app to help you with financial management, stuff like that. And then my other SaaS company, which is SnapSuite in itself. Okay. And just to prove to you, and I'm not thinking, I do have Visual Studio up there. I just haven't actually coded, which I should be doing. I should start a couple things in the background while I think. I appreciate you. I'm sorry if I misled you on the title, but the truth is that it's just been so many here. So here, this is my actual coding platform here with. This is a mono repo with all those projects that I just showed you on the live here. So yeah, I just haven't actually told ChatGPT to do any single thing as yet. So yeah. Do you know cybersecurity? So cybersecurity is obviously a big topic. So the thing is, what specifically is cybersecurity, right? So I can tell you how to secure an application. Will it be like bulletproof that the NSA can't get in? No, right? But it'll be bulletproof enough for regular people and for most of the bad actors to not get in. And then I just shield myself behind Cloudflare. Right, that's what I do. So every single thing here that I'm showing you, this is my actual account, production account here. All my different SaaS products, they're sitting behind Cloudflare, and I depend on Cloudflare heavily for all the DDoS attack and protection and all that type of stuff. And then I focus on the core security, and that's why I use Auth0 as well too, AUTH. And then I follow their best practices, whatever they tell me to do, and that's my layer of security. Right. So that, and then on the back end we had a couple of things for rate limiting with Azure API management and that kind of deal. Azure API management, right? So we use Azure API management on the back end for managing some of the all the APIs and the security from that perspective. But yeah, that's as far as my layer of security will go. Can we do better? Maybe, but do we need to? No, our mobile money. Was just wondering what path would go good in entering tech. So the simplest thing that I could tell you is if you're building a brand new startup for the very first time, use BetterAuth. BTTAUTH. This is simplest, right? Why? Because it just comes with every single thing out of the box, and with the AI, it would be super easy to get set up. So for example, this is using BetterAuth right now. So if I click on sign up or get started for free, it's as easy as this. It comes to this page here, affordly, smart link. If I click on this here, it shows me the login, and I click on that, and then it asks me for permissions, and that's it. I'm in the entire application. That was done with BetterAuth. Super easy, super straightforward, pretty simple to go with. This kind of looks a little bit weird because I'm on the desktop, but it's really a mobile app. It's mobile first. So crazy fast, super easy. That's a whole sign up experience. I just showed you a whole sign up experience. So BetterAuth is just fantastic for that type of stuff. Right? So I use it for like quick and dirty sign up processes for a thing. And with BetterAuth, I'll show you another app. So this is my, I have another app. I have a family reunion app that I built for my family reunion. And see, it also has phone number integration. So some of my family, they don't even have email addresses because they're just, people from a different era. And so you can log in by phone or you can log in by email address, and BetterAuth will take care of all that kind of stuff for you. So highly recommend it. Highly check it out. Open source, super free, super easy to get into any implement in any project. They're building out a new backend system, but yeah, no, check it out for sure. Good questions though. Hey, thank you guys for being on this live with me. Like, I really appreciate it. Like, we're slowly we're getting engagement, which I appreciate because sometimes it's hard. I want to be clear with you guys. I've been on some of this live for like weeks on end, and it's like nobody, just silent, and I'm like, oh, should I continue doing this? So but it's like you got to go through the hardship, right, in order to kind of think. So I'm happy that I'm at least connecting with people, and you guys are getting some value, and I'm able to at least share what I'm working on and stuff. And I got um, is that reorganize or organize? I think is how I say it. Laughing at me because I haven't actually coded as yet. So yeah, but yeah, if you're new here, repeat to myself again, join the community. It's a free community where you could like learn a little bit more about Cloudflare security. That's one of the courses coming, by the way. I'm working on a security course as well to kind of like give you the overview, the basics about security, and how to actually do it. So join it because that will help you with the sort of the details, and then we'll kind of go from there. All right, maybe we should do some coding. How about we do some coding? Yeah, let's do some coding. So I'll share how I work with stuff. Hopefully it'll help you guys with things. So just so you know, like I've been working on Opus 4.6 consistently. I'll say one thing about coding before I start coding. When I started doing this stuff here, like everybody else, I don't know. Well, it depends on who thinks. I was just using ChatGPT to basically just copy and paste code into ChatGPT, fix the code, and then put it back into the model. To be honest with you, I feel like this is still an underrated. So I actually believe that if you're learning to code, I think this is the new way to learn. I don't see anybody talking about this. I'll talk about this for a sec. So what's the problem? If you're a non-technical person and you're like, hey, I want to do this vibe coding thing, right? Like that's the problem set that we're talking about. What do? You open up one of these things like Lovable or Bolt or any one of these tools. I haven't talked about Lovables for this, so we could talk about them in a bit, right? What do? You open up one of these tools and you say, "Hey, I want to build a to-do app. I want to build a to-do app." So let's say you did that, right? And you press enter, or we're currently having heavy load. Oh, great. Okay, so we won't build a to-do app there. Let's just go with Bolt that new, right? So you go to one of these tools, you say, "I want to build a to-do app." So to-do application, to-do AP, right? Sign in, sure. Last use. So I used this one before, so we're going to go with that. Okay, so I'm going to build my to-do app. The problem is if you're a brand new coder and you've never coded before, or you never built something before, and you do this, you have no idea what the hell is going on. Like you just don't know what's going on. So because it just builds the whole damn thing for you. And then the problem is that when it builds it, You just have to trust that it works, and then maybe you play around with it and it doesn't work properly, so you kind of think. So I'm proposing a slightly different thing. I don't know if I'll stick with this, but this is what I'm proposing right now. Okay. Instead of you just going to the AI model and just basically just doing this, okay, go down to your local folder level on your computer, literally create a brand new folder. Okay. Let's just do it in here. Create a brand new folder and just start from scratch. Okay. Like new to-do app. To do app. And I know this feels like it's stupid. This is slow. Why would you even recommend this? Okay. Open up a brand new folder, code, okay, and open up a brand new thing and then start this way. And then be like, hey, I'd literally go back to ChatGPT as an example. Okay, just to show you. This is like the slow way of doing this. I want to be clear with this. If you're trying to go for speed, this is not the way to do it. But if you're trying to learn, this is what I would recommend. So go here and be like, I want to build a to-do app. I don't know how to build one. I'm going to build it in React. Give me the step-by-step and just walk me through the process. Okay. And let it, and just do that. Okay. And literally just go from there, put the code in, copy it, go to code, copy it, go, like, just do. Your brain will get more out of doing this very slow process than think, okay, so here, so we just think, so now I got to do npm create app to do app React, right? That's literally what I have to do. So I'm going to go to my terminal. Let's go to, where's my terminal? Okay, just to kind of make this concrete for you guys, right? So I back out one because it's going to give me its own folder. So I go that, press that. Okay, do you want to proceed? Yes. Okay. Do we want to use Vite? Yes. Okay. Install npm? Yes. Okay, that's it. Okay, now I got a to-do app folder, and I think come back over, do the next step, create to-do cd to the to-do app, nvm. Okay, like literally just do that. So press enter. Okay, so it's ready. Control C, then cd into the to-do app. Do that. Go back over here, npm install. Okay, I still recommend that you do this if you're learning. In fact, I plan to learn npm run dev. Okay, so there, it opened up here, and then I can click on localhost, and then I should be able to just pull this up here. Okay, so there, I got my React app. I need to, right? This is my starting place. I need to learn more about the terminal. Yeah, you know what? The terminal has been sort of a very intimidating thing for me, even for my thing. In fact, I'm going to put a course specifically about the terminal. This was something that I got questions about before. Okay, what am I building? I'm building 3 different apps. I'm building the AI lead scoring app that basically does automated voice call out to people to book appointments. I'm building an app that basically focuses on finances and your personal finances, and then I have an app. This is my actual startup that deals with project management and helping companies collect money and do billing and quotations and project management, right? So yeah, so do this, because this is what I recommend for the new people. Okay, I can't stress this enough. It's going to be slow. All right, I want to be clear with this. Now, don't be crazy and just do this all the time. Okay, the reason why I'm telling you to do this is because it's just going to give you just enough of the foundation so that you could get going. All right, now once you do that, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to come back inside of the to-do app. So actually, and I should put a course up on thing. I'm going to put a course up on this. I promise I'm going to do that for you guys. So then you go code, press period, press enter, and then that's going to open up the app. Okay, and then you're going to say now, now you come up to like ChatGPT. I'm using VS Code here because it's what I recommend for, at least for now. And I'm going to use a smaller model. Here, can't use OpenSys, too expensive. I'm going to use this model here, and we're going to say, I'm going to build a to-do application. Can you build me a to-do application? However, I would like for you to just build out the UI so I could just look at it, just the initial UI for now, and just put some dummy data. Okay, So let it do that as a starter, just as an example, right? I'm just giving you guys a concept here. And the reason why I'm doing that is because you want to go step by step on that process, just so you can have at least a foundation of what it's doing. Because this is, I'm now telling you guys from experience, okay? And just to let you know, I'm not BSing you here, okay? This application that I'm working on, these applications I'm working across all the applications, the code base is about 1 million lines of code. It's about 1 million lines of code. And in the early days, one of the challenges that I was running into was that I was like, I would tell the AI to do something, and then I would get distracted and I'd pick up my phone and I'd start like, browsing TikTok or whatever, right? And then I would like go back to the model and be like, oh, what the hell did it do? And it would be so like my brain wouldn't know how to like keep track of the code or what to do. And I found this was a problem. So what I actually realized is that if I actually go back to the model, okay, I'm just jumping all over the place here, but if I went back to the model and I actually went to ChatGPT and I actually copied and pasted the code myself, and I created the folder structure myself and I got the guidance, my brain was able to keep track of it much, much better. So I did that for a while. In fact, I did that for like half a year. Okay, I have a channel, a video on my channel about how I coded um, 200,000 lines of code, rebuilt my app with 200,000 lines of code. And I did that manually. Okay. Once I did that and I was able to map my brain properly, that's when I started using ChatGPT heavily. I'm saying ChatGPT, but really what I mean is, actually use Claude, right? I only use Claude 4.6 at this particular point. The code is so big that I only use Claude 4.6 for it because I trust it. And but now as I'm writing the code, I'm watching what the AI is doing. So I will not take my eyes off of this list. Okay, there's very few places where I will take my eyes off of this, go away, walk away, or whatever. I read the code as I go through it, as ChatGPT. I'm saying ChatGPT, but you guys know what I mean. As the AI is actually doing the actual code, because it's helping me for my brain to map what the actual code is doing. And then what I do is I get it to do a documentation. So here, for every single feature that it does, it creates a documentation, and it'll put a documentation here as an example. And then, so here, let me see if I can show you, where is it? Okay, so hang on, let me just close this out. So I got too many things open up. Yeah, so it'll put the documentation, and then I'll be able to, and then I'll sit here and I'll just read the documentation of what it just did. Okay, and this is how I've been able to train my brain to be able to figure out to keep up with the code base. And now I know the code base well enough now that I don't need to do this every single time. And any single time I see the AI doing something weird, I'll just stare it. I'll be like, no, don't do this, change this, push that back kind of deal, because I know what the code base is, because my brain already has a solid foundation of the baseline of the application and how it works. Super, super important, guys. I can't stress this enough. But I want to be clear with this. You're going to feel like you're going really, really slow at the start. You're going to feel like it's pointless, because the first thing you're going to ask yourself is like, well, if AI could write the code for you, why don't I just let the AI just do it? And I'm going to tell you this right off the top, as an experienced developer with 20 years of experience, this is the wrong thing to do, because your brain won't be able to map and keep up with it faster. And then frankly, when it starts to break, you won't have a clue what the hell is going on. Okay, so that's what I recommend. I want to know how to make apps. Yeah, 100%, man. I got you. So if you want to know how to make an app, join my school community. Keep mentioning it. I got a bunch of courses inside of here that will help you to figure that stuff out. And if you got questions, just message me, and I'll help you out. All right. But yeah, that's what I want you guys to do. All right, let me see if am I missing questions? I hear people asking questions. How does it make money? Oh, sorry, I missed that one. How does what make money? My apps? What are you building? Oh, right. Yes. Okay. So continue the question from Holly. Yeah. How does it make money? Very simple. I just charge people 350 per month, 550 per month, 950 per month. That's what I charge for my main app. Can you use MCP to automate converting design to code? Yes, but I don't know why you would use MC. Well, the answer to your question is yes. Can you use MCP to automate it? Yes, the answer is yes. The thing is, the MCP that you would use depends on the type of company they're using it. So Figma has an MCP that does exactly this. But if you want to convert design to code, right? Automate converting design to code. This is your path. Okay, this is my path that I take right now. I go to Stitch, Stitch. So it's called Google Stitch. I'll drop it in the chat so at least you have it. Okay. So I go to Google Stitch, and see they have an export to Figma design inside of here. But this is what I'll do. Let me just show you. So I'll do let's say like what kind of app shall we build? Let's build a very cool dashboard. Right? I don't even know what it is. Okay, very cool dashboard. So let's go to images, and we're gonna steal one. Let's steal something. Let's steal something. Let's something a little simple so we could get out pretty fast. Okay, we're gonna steal this dashboard. Let's say I wanted to build this dashboard. It's a design. Okay, I'm gonna come across the Stitch. I'm gonna paste it inside of here and be like, hey, can you replicate this dashboard, improve the UI, and just make it look a lot better? I'm just gonna use a cheap model for now. I'm not gonna use the expensive model. So 3.0 Flash. And what it's going to do is going to take that design as a foundation. It's going to basically use that as a foundation, and it's going to build out a new dashboard. So let's see what it comes up with. This is how I do designs today, right now. Okay, I don't go to Figma. I know Figma. I have an account with Figma. I like Figma. I got nothing against them. It's too slow for me right now. Okay, I like the design. The way the coding models have gotten so good at allowing me to iterate on the design that I don't need that. Now, I'm not saying there isn't a place for that. If you're a bigger company and you need to think through all the details of the product that you're working on, 100% you need to go through with something like Figma. But in my world, I've gotten so good at thinking about what I want to do and working through the details, created a PRD, which I haven't talked about in this call, but a PRD is basically like a specification document. That specification document has allowed me and you and the AI to be able to come up with all the features. And then I just use that and I use it in Google Stitch, and I would do something like this. So look at this. It took that design, created a new version of it, okay? And from there, I could iterate on it. Let me see if I can zoom in on it just to show you the design a little bit better. All right, let me zoom out a little bit more. Okay, so here, okay, I got a design. And more importantly, if I click on more and I click on view code, I have all the code already. So Google Stitch is the way that I would go because I don't need to convert design to code. I literally just design the whole thing. And now I can tell it to design another page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5 off of the same design concept. And then going back to the whole manual thing that I was talking about, you basically take those pages and you could download them and create a mock-up of the entire application. That would be the first thing that I would do. Okay. And then go from there. Now, if you want to get a little more advanced, what you could actually do is you could actually export this. You could click on more and you could click, where is it? Oh my goodness, they moved the button already. Export new. Come on. Where are you at, bro? What the hell did they do here? Export. Why is the export not working? I'm not sure why the export not working. Let me just refresh and see. So more, export, there we go. And then you could just push it over to AI Studio. Okay, if I push it over to AI Studio, I can click on build with AI Studio, and this will literally convert it to a React app for you. So that's the path that I would recommend. Okay, thoughts on, sorry, picking my lip here. Okay, hang on a second. Let me read your comment. Let me get caught up here. So Stitch also have integration with anti-gravity for direct integration and design conversion. Yes. So that's the path that I would recommend. Stitch is actually pretty good. It's underrated, actually. Very, very good tool. And thoughts on tech stack, custom dashboard, ClickUp, OpenClaw, lives on VPS. It's a loaded question, buddy. I'm building that right now. So that's what I'll say for that. Okay. I'm building that right now. But you're on the right path. So this application here, I keep going back to it because it's the one that I'm focused on the most right now. If you were here, I showed you a call system before and thing. So if you are working on that, hey, maybe we should collaborate a little bit. No point in reinventing the wheel. So here in this, in addition to research, there's this agent board, and I'm literally going to be building agents like OpenClaw agents that could literally sit on that could do more sales stuff. Now, I have a very specific vision with OpenClaw. I don't care about OpenClaw doing a whole bunch of stuff. I got a MacBook over there. I'm going to get it. I'm going to install OpenClaw on it to run it on an actual Mac and see what's going on. But that's not actually where I care about using it. I care about using OpenClaw to do specific things within my application, which is exactly the flow that you talked about. Foundry, Q app. Are you in my school community? Like, please message me because I really want to have this conversation a little more in depth to see where you're going. Custom dashboard, ClickUp, OpenClaw lives on a VPS. You're 100% right. So let me show you what I've found so far on that topic. There's this company here, and I think you're gonna find this one good for you. Geez. LLM multi-thing. I gotta get my organization, my AI agent solution. I gotta get my OpenClaw side dev org. Okay, here, these guys. Have you heard of these guys? Okay, this is the best tool I've found so far. So far, okay. They have a VPS system, but it's not a VPS. It's a cloud solution. So check this out. Look at this. Isn't this crazy? I got an account. I got a free account with them right now. And let's go. Let new. I got a dev computer. Check this out. I got a dev computer in the cloud that I could AI chat to on the side with. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Would you like me to install OpenClaw? And I say, yes. Can you do that? Yes. Can you install OpenClaw? CLAW. And I'm talking to the AI here, and I'm seeing the computer there, and it literally is interacting with the computer. But more importantly, look at this. I'm in the browser. This is so, like, we're getting to some weird territory, right? And look at that. I could go through. I could click on what cases, and I could literally talk with an AI agent on it. So I'm using interpreter for VPS. But is it a pure VPS? So I don't know interpreter, but I'm gonna go check it out right now. interpreter VPS. Because if it's a pure VPS, okay, I feel like this one here will you'll be interested in this tool. Why is it not coming up? Did I misspell that right? Oh, interserver. interserver VPS. Got you. Interserver. Got you. Okay, so my 100% they're pure VPS. Try it out. It's fine, but I'm gonna bet you that you're gonna have to do a bunch of orchestration and a lot of native integration. Okay, these guys, I'd recommend that you look at them for sure. If you're in this direction, I would recommend that you look at them. Why? Because they have solved the problem of spinning up VPSs and connecting it to an LLM that you could talk with outside of the computer and have it sort of like inject, sort of like have it use the tools in the computer itself. So they're using I think operator, Open API operator on the background, right? But the point is, you can spin up OpenClaw in this very easily. But more importantly, I love their pricing model. Okay, their pricing model is not that of a VPS. What they're doing is pretty clever. What they're doing, they're basically just charging you. So here, pricing. Yeah, so see, they're charging you on the compute level for thing Linux. So in terms of security, yeah, no, I'm with you. What they're basically doing is, I mean, it's still a VM. You still got all the security layers apply. But what you can do now is on the API level, you could spin up a computer, run it, do your thing, and then spin it back down very, very fast and efficiently, right? The other thing that I want you to check out, since you're deep on this level, check out the Cloudflare code. It's called AI Code Agent. Okay, Cloudflare has a really good solution that they were working on for this here. What is it? Code Mood for AI Agent. This one here. So Code Mood AI Agent gives the entire thing. So what Cloudflare is doing is they're using their worker platform and they're basically doing exactly that, spinning up thing. This is lighter than Docker because Docker is very heavy for this, right? Like you almost want this to like work in like the Cloudflare worker model. So check this article out. This is going to blow your mind what these guys are doing on the AI level. Okay, check that out. I'm gonna drop that in the chat for you. I appreciate your conversation, man. It's good to know that we got deep technical people, and then we have some lighter technical people, and we got some non-technical people, which is what I'm really trying to do with my audience. Like I just, yeah. So, but check those two out. Did I drop the? I don't know if I dropped it. Yeah, let me drop this one in the chat as well too. So obviously security is a big deal, right? Like that's the biggest thing. So the way how I'm thinking about it is, um, so you know about Vibe Cloudflare. You know about Vibe Cloudflare has. Like, what do you mean by that? Um, Vibe Cloudflare has. If I know about Vibe coding on Cloudflare, rephrase that one for me. I'm losing it. Anyway, point is this: Cloudflare and their vibe coding platform with Cloudflare workers can get you the virtualization layer that you need so that you can spin things up really fast. Let me explain what I mean. If you do a VPS, okay, so let's go with your approach here with the VPS. There's nothing wrong with this. I want to be clear with this. Because you could just charge people by the month or whatever it is for your service, and then you could just add layers on top of it. But I feel it's a little inefficient, and the reason why is because you got to spin up a VPS, you got to configure it, right? You got to get all the layers in it, and then it has to run. And yeah, you might be able to turn it on and turn it off whenever you need it, but now you have to do that per tenant. So the problem with that is that as at scale, it becomes fairly expensive pretty fast. So with the Cloudflare approach, you're sitting on virtualized workers that really just spin up, they're just shared, and they just spin up just for a very specific task, and they spin back down, and they just keep, right? But you could configure the entire thing in code. So it's kind of this interesting balance. And to be honest with you, I'm still trying to figure this out. So I'm not telling you I have all the answers here. It's just that what I'm seeing what these guys are doing on this level, I was like, you know what? I kind of prefer this approach a little bit better because they're really spinning up extremely light API. Think of it like an API configuration to a computer, execute some code. Once the request ends, the computer ends, and you can do that all day long at scale, right? So anyway, I digress. Hang on, TikTok is trying to tell me I'm doing stupid things again here. So, oh, look at this stupid thing. Okay, look what it did. It installed some stupid claw game as opposed to Captain Claw. Because, you know, yeah. Uh, Paul at what's up? Oh, hey, you're hitting up Paul. Sorry, I'm appealing my TikTok ban request. Okay, hang on. I got message on thing. What about OTAVA? Don't know them. Never heard of them. OT. That's what I love about this chat. You guys just keep bringing things to me, and I'm like, oh, never heard of that. What is that? I probably know a version of them, but not this particular company. Offers secure, compliant, multi-cloud solution, data center protection, blah, blah, blah kind of deal. IT services. Yeah, you're in the IT space here, buddy. So nothing is wrong with these companies. I just want to be clear with this. Nothing is wrong with these companies and what they're doing. But this is not what we're trying to solve for. We're past. Okay, let me explain it because it's kind of confusing. Okay. It's like this. In fact, by the way, just to be clear, I have a course on this, by the way. So just so you guys know, if you go in here and you go into my Cloudflare, I break down exactly, let me see if I could find it. I break down exactly the different details, like what a Cloudflare worker is and why it's important, okay? For my non-technical people, just to be clear. Okay, but let me just say this. I'll say this at a very, very high level. I'm picking my lip. Where's my pen? Okay, so it's like this, okay? Oh, man. My pen keeps failing. So annoying. Okay, hang on. Let me fight with this pen for 1 second and then I'll. Come on, buddy. Work for me. The hell is going on? And then I guarantee it's just going to randomly work again. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, so we know this story, but I'm just going to just break it down for everybody, right? Okay, so in the past, we used to have physical servers. And I came from this world, by the way, okay? Just to be clear. Like, y'all don't judge me in terms of my age here, okay? I came from this world. I literally like my first computer, I bought it for like, I don't know, a rack computer. It was like $2,500 I bought it for, and I literally shipped it down to a data center, and it was a 1U CPU, 1U rack computer, and I put it in a rack, and I paid like $300 a month to keep it there. Okay, so I've done this. All right. Then we move to virtualized computers, which everybody knows, right? Like VPS, basically, right? So we're used to sort of virtualized computers, and everybody knows this here, right? So VPS, okay? And VPS obviously still live today, and most companies kind of use this, and that's sort of the thing, right? So this thing, so that's fine. Then we move from VPS, which is where Cloudflare comes in, right? Well, actually, before Cloudflare, there's Lambda, right? So Lambda basically, I'm putting the Azure symbol here versus the Lambda symbol. Okay, don't judge me. Okay. So we move to Lambda. I can't type fast enough. So Lambda, Lambda, right? So or functions, right? If you're a Google GCP person, right? So we moved to this here, which was great. So we could productize or whatever cases. Cloudflare comes along and they're like, you know what? This is too expensive. Let's just do a worker, a Chrome browser. Okay, as fast as you could spin up an actual tab. Okay, we're going to take the Chrome engine and we're going to basically build our code on top of it. This is why I love Cloudflare so much, and this is why they're so cheap. So they're going to do a worker. Okay, so that's even more light. If you notice, right, we're just abstracting upon abstracting upon abstracting here. Okay, so the Cloudflare worker level is, in my opinion, the best infrastructure layer, period. All right, now just to be clear, I just want to make sure that there's places for everything. I still have to this day, because in here, sorry, actually I skipped one. I know I skipped one, and the real technical people kind of think of me. In here, there's containers, right? There's containers. Okay, because we did the VPS and then we have the containers, right? So, yeah, okay, all right. Now my technical people will be like, they'll be happy. Okay, right. So we got oh my goodness, come on. Yeah, there we go. Right, we got the containers. So we've been really on this path about like dropping from the physical. We're like, okay, physical too expensive, nobody could use it. Let's just virtualize it, put it in a virtual machine and use that. And then we did that for a while, and they were like, no, we need to orchestrate it. So we need to have even lighter containers that we can orchestrate. And so we came up with containers and Lambda. And then we're like, no, we just need to just work on the execution of the actual code itself. And so we came up with Lambda. And at the Lambda level, like we're doing pretty well. Like it's extremely efficient, okay? And then Cloudflare comes along and they're like, no, we're gonna go one step layer. We're gonna just virtualize the whole thing into threads, basically, like super efficient sort of like processes, right? And that's where the worker kind of sits on. So with that in mind, okay, here's my problem with AI to this day. Okay, here's my problem with AI. With AI, right? What's happening is, because of the AI revolution and all the craziness that's happening in this space right now, the OpenClaw comes along, right? And oh my goodness, hang on, bear with me while I get my OpenClaw comes along, and the OpenClaw is like, you could do all of this AI stuff, but you need to do it on either a physical computer or a VPS. Okay, this is basically where OpenClaw is kind of sitting right now at this particular layer, right? So my thought process is, I think you can basically take this OpenAI Cloud layer and you can run it on a virtual on a worker level. So that's my mission, right? I don't want to go back in time to have to be spinning up VPSs and orchestrating containers and all that kind of stuff. I want to keep the AI model sitting on the worker level. Okay, that's the mission. That's the goal, right? So with that in mind, that's why I'm so excited about what Cloudflare is doing in this, right? They're doing this whole code mode level, because basically what they're doing is they're basically saying like the AI is good enough that you could just run it on the code mode. And they've proven that they could do it because they've taken OpenClaw and they run it on a worker already. And they have it working. That they could spin up a browser and that kind of stuff. Now they're doing some hacks. They're doing some clever hacks to do it, because just to be clear, at this level, you don't have a full computer, right? So what they did is they basically put this virtualized layer in between, right? They put this virtualized layer in between to have the AI OpenClaw talk to like its own kind of model. Excuse me. They have they have the OpenClaw model talking to a virtualized layer that thinks that it's talking to a hardware, but it's not, right? And this is the layer that I want to sit on, because at this particular layer you can scale in, like, first of all you can scale instantly, and then secondly you could scale globally really really fast. So that's the reason why I'm kind of pushing on this front here, and that was the reason why I asked you, Foundry, about that. Right? I'm fine. I'm exploring the container level because there's just going to be some things that you want to do on the container level. Just to be clear, either in the container or the VPS level, there's definitely things that can do. So I'm not saying it's an either or. It's not a zero sum game here, but I'm trying to explore the worker model first, and then switch back to this other layer here. So anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. Um, Integration N8N spin up web browser. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, integrates N8N to spin up a web browser. Yeah, 100%, 100%. Right. This is what I have here, by the way, just so you know. I think I mentioned this before, but I'm gonna mention it again. So on the speed dial here, okay, this screenshot that you're seeing, this is Cloudflare browser in the background. Let me see if I could find one that actually has a website. Hang on, because it's all test data in here, so it's just a bunch of garbage. Yeah, here. So this is Cloudflare worker spinning up a browser in the background, browsing the website, taking a screenshot, and then bringing it back to my, saving it on disk in a Cloudflare storage, and then basically bringing it back to me as an image. That's what this is. So every time I press next, that's what that's doing, right? And then it's caching them, so I got speed, so I could just kind of jump through fast in the background. Yeah. So just so you know, I'm really thinking about this because I was like, this is there's a real interesting use case and capabilities here. It's just that it's such on the bleeding edge that nobody's figured it out yet, right? So Cloudflare is doing their own work, and then right now OpenClaw kind of sits on the VPS layer, so most people are doing the VPS layer. But anyway, we could talk about this all day long. I'm happy to have a conversation about this because I'm really excited about this topic. I think this is the next wave of true innovation in this space, and I plan to be on the bleeding edge of every one of it. So yeah, excited to kind of share the journey with other people for sure. No one knows the real use case for OpenClaw. That's so true. It just does every single thing. Yeah. For me, I want to take the power of OpenClaw and just harness it very, very specifically for sales. Because I'm like, what is the point in having this thing do all this work if it can't make me more money? And I'm not talking like a little bit of money. I'm talking like go find me every single business across the entire globe money. Okay. Jeff Bezos money, okay? Yeah, anyway, so yeah, I digress. But yeah, listen, it's been such a lovely conversation hanging out with you guys this afternoon. I think this is probably one of my best lives so far that I've had because you guys are just keeping me engaged and just hanging out and chatting. I've got to tell, I got it all mapped out. That's good. That's good to know, man. So make sure you join my community because I really want to connect with you for sure. Definitely want to engage with you. And if I didn't drop the link in the chat before, I'll do it again because um, yeah, I definitely want to kind of think about this, right? And just to be clear, let me just tell you my philosophy, just so you know, because you guys don't know me, okay? I'm an open book with this stuff. I really, really am, okay? Like I don't believe in like gatekeeping all of this information for the sake of just thinking. Like I'm happy to build in the open. I'm happy to share my knowledge or whatever the case is, but I also want to make money from it. Okay, period. But I also can't do everything. Period. Right. So I'm happy to team up and connect with people in whatever cases, share ideas, whatever it is. And you might be targeting a different industry from me, right? And even if you are targeting the same industry, there's enough food for everybody. I'm a big believer in that. All right. So, for example, the construction market that I'm going after, there's not a single player. That's the largest player in this space tried to buy us out a couple of years ago. They called me up. They're like, "Hey, actually, I didn't even know that they were trying to buy up companies. They basically, um, the way how I found out about it is a funny story. I'll tell you guys this. Okay, so this is like in our prime days when we had this product. We were selling, 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 okay? And I was really struggling trying to figure out how to sell, and I couldn't sell this product. I just couldn't sell. Finally, we cracked the needle and we started getting some actual traction and we started getting some customers. And a lot of the customers were calling me up and they were like, oh yeah, we're looking for another solution, etc. Et I was like, excuse me, can you tell me why you're with this company for like 15 years. Why is it that you're trying to sign up with us or use our product? They're like, oh, because the company that we were with, they're getting shut down. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Why are they getting shut down? And she's like, well, they're going out of business, and they're making a recommendation to this other company called, I won't call it. It doesn't really matter. Service Titan is the name of the company. They're making a recommendation to this company called Service Titan. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I had a conversation with those guys in the background, okay? And it turns out that they were basically, I'm not making this up, they had raised like $300 million. They were buying up all of the small companies, and they were literally shutting them down and then pulling their lists into their product. So they're telling all these people that the company's going out of business when the company was, they just bought them out and just they were literally shutting them down because they were buying the customers. This is the game that these guys were playing at that level, and they wanted to do that with us, but we didn't really. Nothing ever came out of it. Anyway, I'm just publicly sharing this as a thing. Hopefully, the Service Titan don't come after me. Don't come after me, Service Titan. Um, but I'm sharing this story just as an idea, just to give you guys an idea that the point I was making is that they're still in the game and we're still in the game. We're making money, they're making money, right? Like there's enough for everybody inside of it, and I'm happy to play it nice with anybody. Like it's like even though they're competitors to us, I'm sure they're doing some things better than us, and we're doing some things better than us. You know, we're different market, different strokes, right? And the construction industry is so fragmented that I've talked to people that will not use Service Titan, and I also know companies that will not use us. Just the name of the game. So everybody can win. Don't let anybody tell you else otherwise. I'm going after home service businesses like contractors and stuff, or home service businesses. Yeah, okay. So yeah, mostly contractors, HVAC plumbers, that kind of stuff. Um, yeah, listen, it's so we definitely have some synergy if you're going after home service businesses for sure. My market is so the market that SnapSuite serves is look, it's right here. Right, I'll get so many damn tabs open. This one here. Okay. Here. All-in-one software for contractors. We help contractors improve scheduling and billing efficiency. So yeah, we're like right up. We're barking up the same tree, buddy. So let's talk. See what we can do together. Happy to do some stuff with you. So yeah. Hey, we got people are hanging around. Look at this, man. Like, thank you guys for like literally like just hanging with me on a Friday afternoon. I mean, there's a ton of other stuff that you could possibly be doing, and you guys are sticking around and just chatting with me. So that's cool. That's cool. What other questions you guys got? So going back to your serverless. Oh yeah, serverless. Yeah, you didn't mention serverless. Let me hang on a second. Do you have any advice for Meta prompting LLMs like ChatGPT and Claude? Very, very vague question, but what I'll say with you is the best way you can meta prompt an LLM. Normally, what I do is I just pick up the phone and I just talk to it. Like I just talk about what I want to do. So I don't do it as much anymore because ChatGPT on voice is not as good. They've changed the model and it just drives me nuts. And I can't get back to the older models. But before, like earlier, like last year, before, what I would do is I'd actually pick up my I'd pick up ChatGPT and here, let's just do one, and I'd be like this. Or like, hey, I'm thinking about building a brand new to-do application for helping contractors manage their projects and all that kind of stuff. Can you help me talk through the details of what is it that I should be thinking about for this industry?
Absolutely.
Right.
Let's walk through some ideas. For a to-do app aimed at contractors, there are definitely some industry-specific angles to keep in mind.
Got you. Okay, can you just help me build a sort of a PRD of all the different features and stuff that I would have to do?
Of course. Let's put together a quick PRD outline for you. We'll structure it so it's easy for any.
So I would do that, right? Like literally that, exactly what I do. So I'd walk through the details, thinking about the actual product itself. I'd just talk about, and I literally put my earbuds on. I'd go for a walk, and I just talk to ChatGPT like I'm a crazy person, okay? Because I am, and I would do that. And then I'd come back to the computer, and then I'd be like, okay, can you take that information, distill it, and then give me a PRD document PRD stands for Project Requirements Documents, by the way. And once you get that document, you then take that and put it into the LLM. So that would be considered an idea of like a meta prompt, right? So you're using the AI to kind of work through the details and then basically using that details to basically create the prompt. So that was the best way that I could do that. I can't say that for Claude because Claude doesn't necessarily do the voice type of stuff, but for ChatGPT, that's my go-to and that's how I normally do it. And then if you get that information proper, then what I would do is I create a project specifically and then tell it to take that PRD information and then craft a prompt to put into your project description so that whenever you come into your project description, so just as an example here, and then you click on no this one here. Let's go with this one here, and then you click on this here and you click on project settings. You drop that description inside of here, so it knows how to prompt, like how to write in the future. Another example I'll give you is, for example, I got a SnapSuite roadmap. Okay, this is like my roadmap planning thing, and in here, my project document says, for example, it says you're an expert planner. You are my execution partner for scaling SnapSuite. Your job is to keep me focused on outcomes, challenge my assumptions, and turn my messy problems into weekly execution. Okay, and I also told it to use Alex Hormozy style for doing stuff. But my point is that any single thing I put inside of here, it pushes back. It just instantly says, "Hey, shouldn't you be doing this?" Or like it just literally does that, and it does a pretty good job of it. So that's what I would recommend for a meta prompt. Hopefully that answers your question. Are you live only on TikTok or are you on YouTube as well? I'm on YouTube as well too, buddy. Here I'll drop the YouTube link. Direct link to YouTube. So I'm on live on YouTube as well. And I'm on where else am I on? Jeez. I'm on Twitch, I think. This is to show you how much I know about live streaming. I don't. Okay, I'm just learning. I think I'm on Twitch and I think I'm on Twitter. Hey, am I on Twitch? Let me see. Hang on a second. Am I on I think I'm on Twitter as well too. Let me see. I mean, I'm paying them. They better have me on. Let's see. Where is it? Profile. Look at that. We're live. Look at that, man. Nobody's watching, but we're live. Sweet. Yeah. Join my community. Message me and join the vibe coding community as well too, if you haven't. Sweet. I'll watch the reply. Thanks. Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. But yeah, join the community and feel free to ask questions. This is the place where you could just engage and just be clear. I'm not selling you guys any single thing here. Okay. Let me just tell you my business model because I want to be transparent with you. Okay. Value. That's my business model. Value. And then there's going to be a subset to you to be like, hey man, I want to work with you. Like, yeah, I have money. I'll pay you to do some stuff. And I'll be like, yeah, cool. Let's do something together. Right. That's it. That's the business model. Okay. We're not trying to sell you snake oil. We're not trying to do any single thing. I'm like, I've learned a ton of stuff. I don't know every single thing, that's for sure. And I just want to share as much as possible, give as much value as possible, build a community, like a real community where you actually get stuff done. I'm in some of these communities, and I won't call names. I'm in some of these vibe coding communities. I got a ton of them inside of here that I'm in. And every single other week, somebody's asking you, hey, buy this, hey, sell this, hey, over only 50%. I'm like, what the hell is this crap, man? Like, let's just learn how to like build. Okay, learn real development, and yeah, sure. I mean, everybody's got to make money, so you got to have something to sell. But why don't we just give away knowledge first, right? So my philosophy is very simple: knowledge is free, implementation is not. Okay, like I'm gonna give you every single thing that I know for free, and but if you want me to implement it, I'll charge you for it. That's been my motto for as long as I exist. Now, am I a millionaire? No. So I might have to change that. But yeah, so with that, yeah, you guys join the community, get as much value as you can, ask the questions. I got a couple of people that I want to answer inside of there. Hey, it's coming up on 4 o'clock, so I'm kind of pushing up on my live stream thing. It's been a pleasure chatting with you guys. You guys are really engaged the whole time that I've been here, like the whole time, both on YouTube and on LinkedIn. And like I said, not on LinkedIn. Sorry, I meant on TikTok. I appreciate you. You look genuine and really like to teach. You know what? People keep saying that. I actually do genuinely love to teach. I really, really do. I don't think I'm good at it, but I think I have some ideas on how to like distill knowledge, and so yeah, I appreciate that. So I thank you for saying that. I really appreciate it. But like I said, I have 3 startups. No, four, five, maybe six. Let me see. One, two, three, uh, four, and I'm starting two more. Like, I don't have enough startups to think. Each of them have their own mission and their own goals, and they're really just solving problems for me, and I'm trying to just sell them at the same time. As I learn, I share that knowledge. So if you guys are interested in that, join the community. I've already put the message in the chat, but I'm going to do it one more time just in case. So join the community, engage with me. I'm open book. Ask me any single thing. Book a call with me. There's instructions on how to do all that kind of stuff inside of there, and let's build something together. If there's opportunities for us to partner up on a business front, I'm more than happy to do that. I'm switching my brain into sales mode now, so I'm really hyper focused on sales. Like every single thing, sales, 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 because I really want to scale up my business this year. Yeah, and so I'm just looking for people to kind of connect with and whatever, like people that have experience. Thing I'm looking to teach people that don't have experience. I'm looking to connect with people that have experience, and I'm looking to find the business people that already done stuff that want to do more stuff. Right. So that's kind of the different thing. But it's been a pleasure. I'm gonna hop off of this call here. I'm gonna be back here on Friday of next week. I'm actually trying to figure out how to do more live streams. So I might do like a, don't quote me on this, but it's like I'm gonna try to do like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday type of thing. I just haven't figured out the time in. What I might do is do shorter calls in the week, like a 1 hour here, 1 hour there kind of deal. And then on the Fridays, I do this sort of a longer 3, 4 hour type of stuff. So that's what I'm planning to do. But either case, I really appreciate every single person that has messaged me and asked a question and engaged with me. And if you haven't done so already, join the school community, and then we'll connect there, and then I'll see you guys next week again. Um, and yeah, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. So yeah, I'm gonna end this live now. Thank you. Thanks for the live. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for every single thing. Have a good one. And we are done. Finish. Bye, guys.